Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? Hello, hello. Happy Turkey Day, everybody. Happy Turkey Day for our American friends. Happy Turkey Day. I'm super jealous. Excuse me. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Chris? Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the fam. Okay. I hope you wore expandable pants. Mage and Goba. Turkey tank full to capacity. Oh my God. So I got a question for you. Eating leftovers? Oh, you pig. Would you guys be able to be like, would you guys be gaming right now? Would you be able to do like a 12-hour session of Path of Exile 2? Well, that's an easy answer. Of course you would. I'm super jealous. Turkey, stuffing. Oh, stuffing. My wife makes 2 types of stuffing. Oh, gravy. You might take a you might take a nap. I know. Turkey coma. Turkey coma. We've all been there. Oh, we've all been there. Make so numb. You don't have a key for a beta? What? Head over to Twitter. Head over to X and go. I'm giving away keys on Twitter. Find this tweet of mine from the 26th. I'm going to be drawing names Saturday or Sunday. Probably Saturday. So get over there. Get over there. There's over 800 entries. Oh my God. Too funny. And we're going to be giving away some keys next week during the stream. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, just look at this. 27,000 views. It's crazy. All the tweets about keys are just going bonkers. Anyway, you just got to follow me, like the tweet, retweet. That's it. And then your name's in it. And yeah, I'm going to be randomly drawing for them. And you'll be getting a direct message from me on X. What's up, Drake? Yes, Drake. What's up, Drake? What's my first class? Ugh. I don't want to say, but come on. If you guys were to guess, what do you think? Let's see if you guys know me. I'm 95% sure of what I'm going to play. How to make a choice, or am I buying washing machine this month in POE? Keep first character hidden. Yeah. I don't plan on telling everyone until the Thursday, so the 5th. That's my plan. But every night I get asked a question, and every night I'm this close in saying it. But I kind of want to keep it a secret. Well, a secret. I kind of don't want to reveal it until Thursday. Witch? Yeah, Witch looks good. Witch looks good. You all watched the notable vids from Dreamcore? We watched one yesterday and he's got another one. He's got another one. I'm pretty sure we're gonna probably watch that. So we're gonna watch Try's video. First we're gonna watch Try's interview with Gazzy, and then we're gonna watch Ziggy D explain Ascendancy, and then we're gonna watch the Dreamcore video. What's up, Dennis? Happy Thanksgiving, Dennis. Yeah. Just waiting for everyone to... Sounds good, Drake. All good. All good. Just wait for people to kind of come on in. Or is that also... Happy Thanksgiving, Dennis. Which trial would you prefer? Well, the trial of Secamus is in the second act. So we'll see how that goes. And then, like, if I don't like that, then I'll try the Trial of Chaos. I don't know. Call me crazy, but hey, Dread Switch. Starting the countdown. Yeah, guys, 7 days. We're in single digits now. We're in single digits. Like, I'm trying to keep up to date with everything, but there's going to be a point the closer we get. Like, I'm getting really worried about, you know, Xbox was able to download the game yesterday. They can't play it, but they can get on the home screen and open up the menu kind of thing. And there's some speculation that the data miners are going to be all over it and yada yada. Like, there are some things that I'm going to stay away from. Like, I don't want to know everything. Like, I'm really trying to stay away from really doing a deep dive into skills and all that kind of stuff. Like, I want to, you know, I want to take in the game. 24-hour stream on release day, Sammy. Let's go. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one. So I've taken the day off, but now I'm kind of debating, like, it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken, on Friday, 2 p.m. But like my video said today, I hope the servers don't break, because who knows how long. Fingers crossed. Let's just hope it's minimal, you know, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But who knows? I think it's going to be one for the ages, this launch. They will break, we all know. Yeah, there's a good chance of bandwidth issues. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We haven't had a good track record, that's for sure. Like, at least last Epoch was a shit show. Diablo 4 was a shit show. What else? What am I missing? Like, you know, the track record isn't good. It's only 100 gigabytes. The servers always break. Logging in all at the same hour is basically DDoS. No, but I think I think they're gonna, you know, don't you think they're? I don't think they're gonna open all the doors. I think they're just gonna let, you know, isn't it gonna kind of just be a steady flow? I don't know. What do I know? I don't know. Only Google has the best server. I think the first couple of hours will struggle getting into play. Not like unplayable, but occasionally DC'd. I'll take that. I'll take that. I just don't want it to turn into, you know, 2 o'clock. I'm in queue. And, you know, it's 5 o'clock and I'm waiting still. You know, then it's going to be like, what the F? I'm mentally prepared for any result. I'm not. But you bring a valid point, Chris. I need to have a backup plan. What's up, Jason? You already deleted the forbidden game from this space. Yeah, I'm gonna do a disk cleanup. I've been doing it. I literally do it once or twice every 2 weeks. I clean my caches. I clean all the bullshit in the background. I clean that every night. You have a backup plan called D2R Reimagined. Hey, Claudian. Guys, the game will be good. There's nothing that can surprise. Yes, I like that attitude. Google bought 5 nodes, right? So they have priority, and one of the underwater cables got cut last week. Ooh. I don't even... Do you guys think... You guys think they might be... I hate to bring this topic up because I don't want it, but... Do you guys think they would be a target for DDoS? The hype is real. Damn straight, Claudian. Damn straight. Like Ashes of Creation, it was 2 weekends in a row. Standalone client should be available for download Wednesday. Well, they just said a few days before, but... Hey, down the rabbit hole. Do you think with POE2 that you'll be able to reset the zones like POE1 in case you want to over level a bit? DDoS only can come from one company. Do you think they would steep that low? Ooh, that's a good question down the rabbit hole. Do areas reset? They have done that in the past? Really? I don't think they reset unless you log out and log in. But I'm guessing. I don't remember hearing anything specifically about that. Not sure what class I will play. Invoker looks really good. Ranger with grenades or Ranger with lightning that procs ice. Yes, but this time they'll want to play to even if they won't admit it. You cannot go wrong. There is, in my humble opinion, the 6 classes that are available in early access. I don't think anyone can go wrong. The Warrior is going to be popular. The Titan, I think, is going to be very popular. Like, look at, oh shit. Look at all these options we have over here. The Sorceress, Stormweaver, Chronomancer, the Ranger, Deadeye, Pathfinder, the Monk, super. I think that the monk is going to be super popular. Invoker, the Acolyte of Chayula, a mercenary. The mercenary, you watch, going to be popular for those people that want that first-person shooter kind of feel. So the Legionnaire and the Witch Hunter. And the Witch is going to look effing awesome. The Blood Mage and then the Infernalist. Like, come on, bro. Where are you going wrong? So those are the 6. And then Jonathan already mentioned that I think it was with Gazi and DM. He confirmed during that podcast that there's the next 2 classes are going to be the Huntress and the Druid. 2 more popular builds like, oh God. Like, where can you go wrong? Blood Mage. Ice Chronomancer will be OP. Freeze combined with Time Freeze. Mage can go on the left side of the tree where the Templar is. I've seen cool nodes there. Really, Claudian? Where's my stab class? Well, if you want to stab, you're probably going to go monk, right? The monk, according to Jonathan during the closed betas. Now he said the gaps between the popularity were very close, so it's not like it was, you know, number 1 was far ahead of all the other favored classes. But he said in all the closed beta testing that they did, the monk was the one players enjoyed playing the most. But apparently it's like a glass cannon. It's the one that died the most too, apparently, according to him. Anyway, eventually we're all going to play. At least I am. I'm going to be playing all of them. You saw a lot of monk deaths. Yeah. Yeah, apparently it's a glass cannon, right? But it's supposed to be effing fun to play. But come on, guys. Have you really seen anything that's not... Like, they all look amazing. The classes that played the most is likely to die the most. Good point, Polecat. Good point. Hey, what's up, Jason? Have we seen the tree yet? Wondering how hard it will be to go tank with minions. We've seen an image of it, Jason. We've seen an image of it, and people that have played it and have footage of their gameplay, some of them are highlighting the nodes. We're going to watch... We watched one yesterday from Dreamcore, and he showed a couple of the nodes. But no, we don't have an interactive full one. Range still is better, sadly. Glass cannon and also a melee user, of course, it's going to die a lot. Yeah, it's up and close, right? The monk has to get... He has to get his spear dirty, right? Up and close, so you're right, Drake. It's going to die a lot more. Invoker double with ES with meditation, and you can create a huge ES. That's the risk of close combat. Yeah. Invoker is quite medium range. He has some range. It's Yasu from Leagues of Legend. Really, Jet Switch? I don't know too much about Leagues of Legend. Okay. Where were we? 7 more days, boys. 7 more days. We're all gonna die. That's right, Steve. Gazzy interview time. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's get the show on the road. Let's go. I think Ice and Invoker makes it safer. If you freeze the mobs, you don't get hit.
Well, shoot, man. Let me center you. Let me see. You're right. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Okay, guys, what am I gonna do? So I'm gonna be in the same situation as Ghazi. Like on Discord, like I have a green screen and I don't like this. Like every time I get on Discord for a call, I have my green screen behind me. Is there any way I can change the background on Discord? Hey, Dennis. Like, I don't like this look. Nothing against Ghazi. I have the same look, right? But, like, I really don't want this to be my backdrop when I talk to Try on the 16th. Does anyone know? I haven't looked into it.
See, Ghazi's, he has no problem calling me out. He also has no problem calling my wife fat while she's pregnant. It's pretty funny.
Bro.
Whoa!
You can't leave with that, man. Bro, that was... Okay, first off, I was being welcoming and friendly, and I pulled a
By
joke.
calling his wife fat?
And she... Like, you're going to have to explain this.
I will explain it. Okay, so Ghazi...
Whoa.
We'll start with this. Okay, so Ghazi, lovely to have you on, dude. You're a little better centered now.
What's the story here?
Ghazi is, in my opinion, the most welcoming Path of Exile streamer content creator out there. When I met him both times in LA, so welcoming to me. I was a little baby in March, had never talked to any of these people really, and he just brought me right in, said hi. It was...
No, Steve. I'm in my basement, bro. If you see my basement behind me, this is where I put all my boxes, all my shit from outside. Are you kidding me? That's not gonna happen. It's a green screen or not, like...
Great. And then the
I'm
second
screwed.
time in June, I had my wife with me, also brought us in, was like, hey, let's chat. But right when he saw my wife, she's pregnant,
Oh,
obviously.
really?
She's like 7
Nice,
months
thank
pregnant
you.
at this point. He's like, oh, I see you're fat, or just pregnant, or something along those lines. And my wife thought he was for real.
Wow.
My wife was like, holy, who is this asshole? Literally calling me fat right out the gate. Obviously, you were joking.
Oh, she was
Ghazi.
pregnant.
We all know.
You make it sound so much worse.
This is how it was from my perspective, especially because my wife was instantly like, "Are they all like this? Are they all just gonna go in on my weight like right away?"
Wow.
It's just Swedish.
There's
dark,
templates on
edgy
Discord.
humor.
Thank you, Dress
And I was
Switch.
like, I was congratulating you on the pregnancy because I just had my daughter not long ago, right? And then she shows up. I'm like, oh, well, could I just say hi, introduce? And I pull one of those jokes, and like, and I made sure that she understood it was a joke right after I said it. But I don't know.
Wow. What a
When
way
you
to start
told
the
me, like, that's how
interview.
she interpreted it, I was like, man, that's not at all what I meant.
Dude, it's fine. She's so like myself. She's even more green than myself. Like, I'm just getting into all the Twitch emoticons and slang and the like. I don't know what any of these things mean. And I'm learning all this stuff. I started repeating something. I had no idea what it meant. And then I looked at what it actually meant. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? See, she is completely green to all that. She doesn't know any of the terms. She doesn't get the jokes because she's not really online at all. And she doesn't like get any of the dark humor. Like, I like dark humor. Dark humor is great, especially Swedish dark humor. I thought it was very funny.
you.
I knew what you meant. But after, that's why I didn't really address it, right? But after she was like, dude, really? So, but man, it's fine. That's the extent of the drama we need to get into. We can talk about the thing that everybody is hyped about. We're 8 days away.
7.
It's next Friday, Path of Exile 2. Ghazi, are you excited?
Nah.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had a content drought since Cyberpunk 2077 released. We've gone from 4 releases a year to 3. Whilst they keep telling us that they're doing 3-month leagues, which has never been the case for the past 2 years. And then they went from 3 launches, which is already rough, down to, yeah, let's just have 2 launches 2024. I'm like, what? And then we get POE2 now. So it's like, I think we're all just very loaded and ready to nut.
Oh, 100%. Ready to nut indeed. This podcast is going to be the dirtiest yet, and I'm so in for it. Today is Thanksgiving, Ghazi, in the U.S., right? So I'm thankful for you being on the pod today, and I'm thankful that I can get all like the dirty.
Yes, by the way, Happy Thanksgiving for those of you that walked in late. I already said this at the beginning of the stream, but happy Thanksgiving to all you Americans, our bros, Now I'm in Canada, so for all my bros that are south of me, happy Thanksgiving. I wish you and your family nothing but health and happiness. And I know what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for that you guys are all here. And I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving, a safe, healthy, happy Thanksgiving. And I'm super jealous you guys are eating turkey and stuffing and watching football. And yeah, so happy Thanksgiving.
Thoughts out before I go to my family dinner, where there's a whole bunch of, older people, sheltered people, little kids. So I'm not going to make any dirty jokes. On this podcast, though, maybe I just go hard. Okay,
You should see
fine.
the family gatherings at my home. My fiance has to warn all her relatives about me before they show up.
You're eating
after 10
stuffing
years
now, Steve.
They're getting
Damn.
used to it.
Oh,
All right,
I
if
love
we build
stuffing.
on that analogy, Path of Exile 1 players have been so jaded about Path of Exile 2 up until the last week, up until that reveal. Now I see all of them just rearing. They're chomping at the bit to go in and play Path of Exile 2. Do you think they were a bit grumpy because they only got to nut twice this year instead of the usual 3 to 4 times?
That's a little bit
I
of
think
it.
that POE2, the reveal and everything alone compensates for the lack of launches in the entire year.
Do you see, as many others apparently right now, Path of Exile 2 as just being better than POE 1 in almost every regard? Like, is there something that we might be missing? I mean, we haven't played the game yet, right? So maybe there's like the chase item system that might be missing. Like, we haven't seen any T0s. Can you think of anything else that might be lacking from POE 2 compared to POE 1 at this point? Or just POE 1, POE 2?
I think it's very, very personal and subjective, depending on who you're asking. I think there's
Good
definitely going
answer.
to be quite a few people who are absolutely not going to like POE2. And there's going to be a lot more people that are going to love POE2. That's kind of the boat I'm in. Lacking.
Guys, what would, to Gazi's point, like, great answer, but what is there that could potentially cause someone that loves Path of Exile, okay? OG, 10 plus years playing it, loves Path of Exile. What could they potentially be upset about and not like about Path of Exile 2? Now, again, you take it with a grain of salt because we don't know everything yet, right? So there's still a lot of unknown. We know a lot, but there's still a lot. What could potentially be like pissed them off? Some people hate change. Holy shit, Steve, that is really good. You're right. You're super right. People hate change. Yeah. That's a good one. Forget about whether there are reasons or not. You're absolutely right, Steve. The fact that it's a change, that in itself is enough for someone to get jaded. Great answer. POE 1 is a niche game. Yep. It would be politics. They don't like the company. No, but these are people that love. Let's call them, Path of Exile fanboys. They've been playing it for 10 plus years. They play every league. They love Path of Exile. They love one button builds. They love the speed of it. They love the screen blowing up and you killing screen full of mobs. Like everything, that Path of Exile. They love the complexity. They love POB. They love all that. They just love it. POE2 is a game that targets a large audience. Yes, Claudian, but it's also one of the reasons why Grinding Gear Games chose to make POE2 is because they felt Path of Exile had reached its full potential. There wasn't more room to grow the player base. So you're right. It's a large... Oh, sorry. You're saying Path of Exile 2. Sorry. I thought you said Path of Exile 1. I clearly misread it. Yes. POE2 is a game that targets a larger. Absolutely. That's why they made it. I've never played POE, but already very hyped about POE2. Hey, intern. Welcome. Yes. I think there may still be some buried resentment that it was supposed to be an expansion and not a new game. It could be fear that now POE1 may go away someday, even that they still... That's a good one, Mage and Koba. Yes. They're fearful that because Path of Exile 2 looks so good, this is going to be the death of POE 1, which I don't think so. But ooh, that's a very good one. Yes, that's a good one. Yo, McRich. How are you, brother? How you doing, buddy? Hey, Real Caged. Yeah, it's a huge difference. POE2 will have way more players. I think they underestimate. Oh my God. Yeah. So December 6th, we are gonna hit. What do you guys think? Do you guys think they're gonna hit 1 million? You think they're gonna hit 1 million players? I think POE1 will keep going for the blaster types. Yeah. The entire ARPG community will log on December 6th. It's what is it? It's NR4 on sales on Steam right now. I'm good, man. And over 1 million, sir. Yes, number 4 on Steam already. I thought they were higher than that. But yeah, they're up there on Steam. They gotta know. They have to know, right? Look, they know how many people have bought supporter packs, right? So that's an indication in itself. People that have purchased supporter packs are going to play on December 6th. So already you have a base number, right? Plus they know how many people they're inviting that have spent $480 lifetime. And remember, it's only $30 to get in. Yes. You bought the €100 one? Second most sold game on Steam. Yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be off the charts. Okay, sorry, guys.
I don't know. I feel it's too early to say for me.
Servers are going to be on fire.
Yeah. But just like ARPG games have always been with the cycle content, we're always going to be in this position.
Good answers, by the way, guys.
We get to this rhythm of we're going to have 3-month leagues, hopefully, going POE2. We're going to end up in a position where most of us are not going to play 3 months. We're going to play 1-2 months, and then we'll do something else. And hopefully that's why we're going to have POE1 as well, releasing regular content. So when we're done with the POE2 and getting bored of that league, we can move over to POE1, do that league, spend 3 hours in D4, then go back to POE2.
Yeah, once we get into that really nice rhythm, that smooth just vibe, it's going to be beautiful, right? Especially if Grinding Gear Games can stick the landing and follow through with what they've said they're going to do with the patches between POE2 and POE1. Now, you've played POE1 for a long time. You've been a long time follower of Grinding Gear Games. Do you think that that is something that is actually going to happen? Do you think that they're going to fully invest in the Path of Exile 1 again, even if Path of Exile 2, let's say, launches with 1 million on Steam, and they see, oh my God, the ceiling, it's non-existent for POE2. Do you think at all in their minds, sorry that I'm like building on this question so much, do you think in their minds they might think like, oh my gosh, is it worth it continuing with POE1, or do we just go all in on POE2 if there's just such a much wider audience for it?
I think that, well, my expectation is very simple. I believe we're going to have over 1 million people watching on Twitch on the early access, and I think they're going to break player records with 400,000 to 500,000 concurrent players just for the early access, which is a buy-in, and I think they're going to double that for the early access launch, depending on how well received this is going to be. So I actually don't think that seeing 1 million concurrent players is an impossibility. It's a stretch goal, but I definitely think it's doable for them to actually hit. If that's going to have an impact on the POE1, I think that one of the things that GDD has done so well, which is why they have so much goodwill built up, is because of the trustworthy approach they have. And when they make a mistake, they own up to it. I mean, we've had horrific launches in the past, like 3.15, 3.19, even worse. And then we've had some really good ones. But every time they've always owned up to the mistakes. They've been very transparent, and they've handled public relations very, very well towards not just streamers, but the entire gaming community. And I think that because of that goodwill and the trust they've built, and when they then tell us that we're going to keep releasing POE1 content, we can believe them and know that we're going to get POE1 content. I also think that's a very good business decision as well, because of the fact that you're not going to play 3 months straight of an ARPG game. You're going to play for X amount of time, and then you're going to move on to something else to then come refreshed back into the next launch, if you will. And having POE1 being that other game you go to is just better for the company.
Yeah.
I don't think, and McRich, love you, buddy. You're too good, man. That's why I have a backup plan. I don't think 1 million is a stretch, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Path of Exile, the player base already is a solid foundation. However, and this one, I'm kind of confident on it, but I'm confident enough to make the statement, and that's the fact that there's another game that I will not mention that has, give or take, about 1 million players playing every day. Okay? And now that has eroded drastically, but there's a lot in that player base that are definitely looking and seeing, holy shit, this game looks, even like the diehard content creators in that community, literally every single one of them have jumped or are going to play it. So I do not think 1 million is a stretch. I think they're going to hit it. People who never played RPG will come. This is crazy. I'm right here. Oh, there you go, Real Caged. You're one of those people? All that said, game streamers will not be playing said game that day, LOL, but they will be playing an Exile-like game. Yeah, Real Caged. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Thanks for the follow.
It's unfortunate. Wardloop, thank you for the follow, man. They're pulling from Elden Ring player base too. Last Epoch, the game we're not going to mention. Elden Ring. Like I mentioned Lost Ark in my video today that I dropped on my YouTube channel. Shameless plug. Please go watch it. Go watch my content on YouTube. Like, subscribe, please, please, please. Like I mentioned Lost Ark, and that's more of an MMO, but it also is an action ARPG as well, more on the MMO side. But to Chris's point, there's everybody, just about everybody, regardless of genre, like heard about the reveal. Like it's just gotten so much positivity. So I don't think 1 million is going to be a stretch, but we'll see.
I tend to agree with you on that point, and really what I've been trying to do is stall, but I think it's time to unload on you, Gazi. You are the minion master, man.
Yeah,
minions.
He's the minion guy.
Seem to be pretty cool in Path of Exile 2. As someone who played minions once in Heist League, I played Skellies. Oh my god, worst decision of my life. The fastest league I quit. I didn't get the heist portal. But in POE2, I mean, that latest teaser where they showcased a scepter and a few auras, I mean, it looked clean. I could read my screen.
Wow, really, McRich? Nice. Yeah, try is...
They look interesting compared.
Sorry. You're absolutely right, McRich. But you know what? I'm a firm believer that the content creator, they attract like the same people, like of the content creator. Like it's the same thing in my small community here. All you guys that are here all the time, just you guys are down to earth, you're respectable, you're polite, you're smart, like me. And it's the same thing with Try. Try, he's such a nice guy. And if you've been watching my streams lately, I've said this story 100 times. Try was one of the first POE content creators that reached out to me when I first did a video on YouTube about Path of Exile, welcoming me to Path of Exile, and he was looking forward to seeing more of my content. Like that's the kind of guy he is, and you're going to attract those same kind of people, right? So I'm so happy for all the success he's having. He deserves it. He's working his ass off
compared to what we get in POE1.
Yeah, well,
First,
thank God I'm better looking.
High level overview.
That's right.
What
that
is your view of minions in Path of Exile 2 for people who might not be binging every single Ghazi video like I am?
I mean, it's very hard to tell. Based on the playtest that I've done in LA, for example, right off the gate, you feel like you're controlling an army, and that feels really good.
Ghazi definitely would be playing Witch.
Is that they always feel like they're slacking behind. So you go up, now you're fighting, but your minions and all your damage output is behind you. They have to move up before your damage is applied. And very few games does that very well. And POE1 solves it with Convocation or just running range minions. And in POE2, because of the flow of the gameplay is naturally getting you into position where you and your army is moving up simultaneously to the fight, it feels more engaging in that way. So I think that minion gameplay is going to be very fun, and I think that's going to go for things like totem playstyles as well. It's also going to have that better feeling as a result of the way the combat is. But they're also making some pretty cool changes with in POE1. There's one main ascendancy choice, being Necromancer. So someone who has no idea that you can make like a cheerleader support, there's a cheerleader minion build, or a Warcry chieftain summoner, or a Templar's guardian, for example. The obvious choice for minions would be Necromancer. That's just one choice, right? And they've decided to go away from this obvious one choice pick for new players and spread these out a bit more, like the Infernalists having fire-related minions. And we'll simply see what the other nodes have and the other ascendancies when it comes to minion-related topics, to allow people to go in, hey, I want to play that fantasy, and then there's a couple of different options for them rather than only one. So I'm actually very excited for it. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Now, at the beginning, you say that you quickly ramp up and feel like you are controlling a horde. Do you think that the ramp is too quick? I know that's a weird question, but do you think that you get too many minions too quickly in Path of Exile 2? And do you think that that scaling will continue? I presume it will because of how Spirit works, and you're just going to get more and more Spirit as you progress to endgame. Do you think at any point, I don't think that teaser showcased how many minions you can actually have. Do you think at any point it's going to get too clogged down the screen, or you think we're going to be okay for the most part?
I think that allowing the player to have an insanely large army for the sake of clearing makes sense, and this is limited due to the inability to generate corpses on boss fights unless they have ads. Because most of the minions that are temp summons, you need a corpse for them, so you don't have that resource versus most bosses. So it'll be a little bit more controllable in that sense, to not swarm a boss fight to make it irrelevant, which is one of the concerns we had with that approach. But it feels amazing when you're clearing, because like right off the gate, right? But if it's too much, I don't think so, because I think that the important part with class fantasy and enjoyability for someone who goes in as a new player is say, hey, I want to play this type of build. I want to play a warrior, onka bonka, unga bunga. I want to smack shit. You can do that right off the gate, and you will feel like you're actually doing those heavy hits. You want to play a summoner, you go right off the gate. Couple levels into your character, before you hit level 10, you have an army of minions that you're controlling.
Shit.
So it really dives into this to allow the players to engage with the fantasy playstyle that they want directly early on.
Wow.
P1, you don't really have that. You have to build up quite a few levels, play quite a lot before you get to that fantasy fulfilling role of your character, right?
Right. Yeah.
You're laughing,
I know,
Steve.
I remember in Heist, it was terrible. I hated it. In POE2, it
Was
looks
that
like
Mage Skellies?
Say again?
Was that Mage Skeletons you
Yeah,
played?
it was. It was.
You did not like it?
No, man, it was Door League, and I was just having a tough time, dude. And you're right. There's a lot of buttons that you press in Path of Exile 1 to get your minions like kind of next to you and just make sure they're following. And you know what? My gem setup probably was utter shit. So, I wasn't following a guide or anything. Like I saw like, oh, Mage Skeletons is something, and I tried to build into it. I got to like level 94, but I was not doing well. It was a struggle to 94. Like I was doing, I think
Shit,
T12,
94 is
T13
good,
red
man.
maps. I wasn't even doing T16s to get XP because I couldn't clear those. So it was bad. Hopefully,
base counters were like super popular.
they,
Yeah,
yeah.
back then.
I
But
think that's why I played them. Yeah, I was like, oh, that looks cool.
yeah, it was fun if done correctly, obviously.
Right,
But
right.
you know, but you played it right. So one of the things that a lot of people say is like, oh, minion builds are lazy. I would arguably say that minion builds are one of the hardest things to design, but one of the easiest to play. But the reason I love them so much and the archetype is because of how active they are to play. Because most people say they're lazy. Oh, you just have one button or no buttons. But as you've played it, it's a lot more than that, and you have to think about their positioning, your positioning, convocation, cursing, resummoning, and all of those things. And that just makes the gameplay so much better. And then in the higher end game, most of those things gets automated with trigger weapons and stuff like that. In POE2, you get that active gameplay on every class. And now people are like, oh, this is so amazing. And I'm just sitting here. That's how I played POE1 until I get the endgame gear for like the past decade.
Right. And in Path of Exile 2, minions have this extra layer of each, or many minions, having an extra button that you can press that has a special skill on it, too. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we know how many minions actually have that. I know the gas arrow is a great example. I think one of the mages has ability. But if we're talking like the majority of them having extra activations, Gazi, you're going to be very busy, Gazi. So,
Well, we don't know if the specters are going to have them or if all of them are going to have, right? And there's 400 different monsters that can be specters. And when the game launches, it's going to be 800 of them. So yeah, I'm going to be busy.
so I was going to leave that for later in the interview, but you brought it up.
So
specters, okay? 400 monsters.
Guys, is it my understanding? Correct me if I'm wrong. So for the minion builds in POE2, the corpses you can. There's a skill that you can, whatever, revive them, and that corpse, whatever monster type it was, you revive it, and it now becomes part of your army, and it looks like the monster type that you killed. Is that is that what it is? Like Diablo 2 revive. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Right, Dread Switch. Wow. Holy shit. I'm not a huge fan of minion builds, but that sounds effing awesome. Spectras, yes. You have a special gem for it. Steve. Okay. I guess that's why Gazi mentioned it. Okay. Wow. Oh yeah. Whoever loves minion builds is gonna go crazy in Path of Exile 2. I loved that in Diablo 2. Loved it. Especially, what are those big guys in I think it was Act 4? Those big dudes. Or was it Act 3? Anyway. Super cool. Wow.
We have literally no balance. We don't know what classes are best. We don't know what skills are best. We don't even know what half the ascendancies really do.
Perfect.
So, of course, we can't make builds or tier lists about them. But based on what the monsters you've seen,
Butterboy,
what Spectre looks kind of interesting. I know we don't have any numbers, but if you were to design like a Spectre build right now, do you have any ideas of what that might look like? Like a monster or two that you'd include in that pack?
You know, the end of, I don't want to spoil too much. You remember end of Act 1, the dudes, the big dudes with a long cloak that was like dragging behind them? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to say more than that. I'm very excited to test those out. But we know that they have Beyond, and Beyond was changed might have been a few years ago now, but not too long ago, I think, where they changed the Beyond monsters into Scourge monsters. Mm-hmm. And we saw that in the footage, and one of the most visually pleasing things that popped up was a demon harpy screeching throughout the half the screen. So we're gonna have access to those again, so that's gonna be real fun as well.
I completely know what you mean about those cloaked monsters.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're strong. That's all I'll say. Okay, those are two great answers. So between those skeletons, zombies, and the bone constructs that we've seen, do you think that you'll be building a minion army of a diverse set of those, or do you think you're going to really focus in on one particular set, or is that not really determined until we see like uniques that might empower minions or other skills or ascendancy nodes that might
Yeah.
affect certain minions.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know.
I mean, that kind of depends what's in this box, I guess. I mean,
That's true. Yeah, everybody, he got his box finally. Are you going to do that on stream today, man?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Good luck, man. Because it took me 5.5 hours and I used hints. And I had my wife, who's much smarter than I am, come and help. So it was a tough one.
I just said before this podcast, I said that it can't be that hard. I used to work as a mechanical engineer before full-time streaming, so it can't be that hard. And everyone was like, "You're gonna eat those words." So we'll see how it goes.
Dude, on the box it says 1.5 hours for a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
It would take me 3
It's
days
not
to
true,
do that.
Or streamer IQs are just like, they're down there at this point.
Yeah.
It's really rough.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah. So yeah, because we haven't seen any.
Did he really,
any
Steve?
for minions at all yet. We've only seen 23
Wow,
or 25
that's
of
good.
the 300 that we're gonna see on launch. But I don't think there's been any unique specific to minion builds yet.
Not
You
that
know
I've
better.
seen, no. But I mean, when it comes to like minion diversity,
Wow, that's good time.
to actually answer that question. It's
yeah.
like the you have Infernalist being like the only like main summoner themed class, right? So I think that it's going to be very oriented around Hellhound and SRS, right? And I think that with the system that they have for the Bone Construct, because that's my favorite skill that we've played with.
Okay.
It looked amazing, right? But that one requires corpses. And because it requires corpses, we're in this position where you can't use this for bosses. And Jonathan said in the interview me and Darth had, where they want to have a system where when you weapon swap to another weapon swap, you can have a different spirits reservation system for different minions, right? So you can have one set up for your clearing and one set up for your single targets. I'm actually very curious about that. But obviously, to go back to the unique items, I mean, if we find something that scales minions, I mean, I'm going to be all over it.
Do you think there's going to be like dancing dervish in Path of Exile 2, or?
Dancing Dervish is a very touchy topic.
I'm sorry. I'm oblivious.
No, it's like they it was a really cool ability till they completely screwed up the targeting acquisition system of it, and it's undergone so many changes and so many fixes to it. I know Viper has been a champion, honestly. Viper-esque, you know him, of course. Been basically single-handedly trying to fix this for us, and not really gotten it to a point where it's good. It's okay-ish. And then Viper is one of my favorite devs over at the office. GGG decided that he's so good that he's banned from working on POE1, so they put him exclusively on POE2. And ever since, we've seen nothing happen to Dancing Dervish.
Yeah.
Man, Gazzy knows his
POE2,
shit,
he's
man.
been working on it in the background. I know he's doing a lot of the skill design, writing all the tooltips. Apparently, that one guy is writing all of the tooltips for Path of Exile 2 skills, which is quite the task. Okay.
Jesus.
We also have one person to, go to if we see something wrong, which is kind of nice, I suppose, because he'll be able to fix it. I wanted to touch on the unique boss not having corpses to summon.
That's a madman.
I played POE2 twice. A lot of bosses actually do have minions now that spawn quite often throughout the fight, which is good. But you're right that not every boss will probably act that way. But I can think literally the Bloated Mailer, the first boss, the Devourer, the Crone, like the Executioner, Draven, Assinia, like a lot of... I wonder if they're adding that...
Yeah, they're punishing
Probably
him.
not solely for minions, but it is an added bonus. They're probably doing it to maybe up the stakes, give you some flask recharges because they're much longer fights and the like. But hopefully, like, that worry will kind of fade away if we end up fighting lots of different minions in these fights. Or are you more worried about them dying really fast or getting desummoned pretty quick? Because they're on a timer, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think the timer is too much to worry about in a single target fight. The ads have always fulfilled the purpose of generating flash charges. Like, oh, you managed to get this far. So instead of having a marker on the HP bar saying, well, you get this far, the boss is going to spew out some globes to fill up your HP. We don't get that in here. Instead, they give us ads to recover some fast charges. So that's been their purpose. But you're definitely going to be able to use their corpses in, I'm assuming, the all fights, but most, if not. And I think that's going to be a good way to actually utilize these corpse generating or corpse requiring resource abilities. But it's going to be a finite source, right? So you
Yep.
can't go in with like an infinite army of like 50 monsters to fuck up a boss like completely.
Definitely. Two more minion questions, man, and then we can stop talking about minions. I know you probably answer questions about them all day long. One, do you think that minions are going to get demolished by bosses? And you won't be able to really keep up damage because these bosses have huge ass moves, big AoEs.
That's
they do a
usually
lot
the
of damage.
case.
Are we just going to be working on one skeleton and then it gets resummoned? Next big giant move, especially in endgame, wherein they're balancing it so that they have these larger moves happen more often. You know, like the Draven projectile attack that annihilates anything in melee range, essentially. I imagine all your skeleton warriors dead, gone. Do you think that's going to be a problem and people are just going to be worse off as minion players and not have that damage uptime?
Well, so the playtest I've done, the resummon timer that they have, the resurrection mechanic, is a 4-second window. And one of the feedbacks provided was that they need to cut that down to make it faster. Because the way the mechanic works is that whenever a minion dies, a 4-second timer starts. And if any minion dies during those 4 seconds, that timer resets. And if no minion has died over the course of 4 seconds, all your permanent minions gets resummoned again, all of them at once. So the idea was or the feedback was to cut that timer down to maybe 2 or 3 seconds instead to make that a little bit better. But I think that certain minions are there to act as just meat shields, meat for the grinder, and just sit there and take the hits. And those will very likely die very quickly. But the problem would be if a boss, for example, then kills 1 or 2 minions, and then 2 seconds later kills 1 or 2 minions. It's going to be this slow trickle down until all your minions are gone, and now you have to wait 4 seconds. So we don't know what the timer will be. The feedback was to reduce the timer. But they also have other mechanics, again, going into this active combat playstyle approach to the game, where we have Bone Offering, where you're basically sacrificing one of your skeletons. Most of this is going to be skeletal warriors who also lacks an active ability, which will impale it, and for some time, all your minions will take significantly less damage. So I think that the playstyle versus those type of hard-hitting endgame bosses will be that you're supposed to or meant to cover your minions in one way or another. Either you have minions that are strong enough to take it, or you have the skeleton army where you're supposed to sacrifice one of your skeletons to make sure the rest
So
of
you're
your
gonna
army
have
is going to
options.
survive whatever hit is incoming. And then you have the skeletal clerics, which they've shown as well, which are actually healing your minions actively.
That
So
makes,
I'm not worried.
awesome. That makes a lot of sense. They're giving us a lot of abilities to kind of
Mitigate.
bolster our minions instead of them just tanking hit after hit after hit. So you're going to have a much more active playstyle in defending your minions now. Instead of like trying to get them to go at stuff, you're defending them as opposed to POE1. Now, do you know if anybody played Minions or The Witch in LA a few weeks ago? Like, I've only seen Mercenary, I've seen Monk stuff, I've seen people talking about the Warrior. Did anybody play The Witch, dude?
Really, Real Caged?
Not that I've seen.
Wow.
I think most people focus on the Mercenary that want to try something new.
Yeah.
And then like the previous LA test. I
Hey,
think
Tristan,
most
have a
touched
go, man.
the,
Hope you
The
get
Witch.
better.
We pooled our resources.
Sorry to hear that.
A bunch of streamers went together to say, because we had 2 different NDAs, right? One was for the footage we played, and another separate one was for The Witch. So we were like, how are we going to spend our time now and make sure everyone has content to post when it's ready, right? Because we're all content creators. So we got together and said, well, let's do this. And we basically had, I will exclusively play The Witch, and everybody just pools all the footage into a drive, and then everybody uses those footages. So most of the footage you see from those playtests is actually mixed with a bunch of different creators' playthroughs
Really?
to help
I
each
didn't
other
know
out
that.
with that.
That's awesome. That's good. Well, hopefully once we get to play The Witch on, December 6th in 8 days, it'll be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Although, my final minion question. Any other ascendancies looking possibly minion related? Like, could you play minions on a Witch Hunter, a Gemling Legionnaire? Or are you seeing any nodes that kind of encourage you to try that? Or is it Infernalist, Blood Mage all the way, no questions asked, if you want to start as a minion player?
I think the most obvious choice is the Infernalist. It's a fire-related kind of minions fantasy to dive into. That's going to be the obvious choice. The less obvious from the nodes that has been revealed. We obviously haven't seen the remaining nodes on most. Saw CKDs with a Witch. I'm going to check that later. Witch Hunter, sorry. But I think the Gemini Legionnaire is probably the one that has the most promising features of being functional as a minion build in general. but how well that will be, we don't know. We don't know how strong the quality will be. Jonathan did say that GCPs or gem cutters prisms that increase gem quality is going to be like an in-game resource. So being able to get that for your minions might be a really strong source. We don't know. But most importantly, Gemini Legionnaire gets those 3 extra skills, allows you to have more variety or options of in terms of utility skills, which is going to be something minion players are going to be using more than any other class, because your minions are doing the damage and they're already there active permanently, whereas the remaining skills you're going to be using are going to be utilities. So getting 3 extra skills could be a favorable approach. But then again, that's also 3 extra keybinds, so we'll see how it goes.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like I might try for the memes just minions on some class just to see how they kind of operate with minimal investment, because we have 9 slots. I know Grinding Your Games has balanced the entire game around you using a lot of those, whether it's for active skills or buffs, but I mean, it would just be so cool to be a witch hunter and you're summoning like specters of witches or literal zombies or skeletons. I just got to try it out. It probably won't be strong. I probably will fall flat starting immediately in Cruel, but it'll be a fun time. Speaking of Cruel, second campaign playthrough. Yay? Nay? Eh? You like what they did? They were saved by Blizzard. I'm sure you saw that in the Legendary Drops interview. You know, they saw, oh my God, Blizzard is getting dunked on. We don't want to get dunked on. Let's not make their mistake. Let's pivot right now. Build out the end game.
That's friggin' crazy. That is crazy that they saw what was happening with the Spiritborn reveal and all the negativity around what, you know, the backlash. That's it. That just, this is what we're getting. And they literally said, stop the presses. We gotta focus everything on endgame. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. What? That literally changed the course of Path of Exile 2, in my opinion. Literally changed the course.
We'll finish the rest later. We can do Cruel for 6 months a year. That's totally fine.
I think that they are more often than not knows their player base, and the player base don't really care about the campaign that much. New player acquisition, I understand that focus, and I think they're doing a really good job on that. But endgame is so.
Path of Exile players don't care about the campaign. I agree with Gazi, but in the same light, again, my opinion, I might be wrong. Path of Exile players, I get the sense, don't care that they have to play the campaign. They don't want, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, they don't want to skip the campaign button. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it's fake news. Come on. When you think about it, nobody really well, you know what? I personally like the grind of the campaign as long as it's not 100 friggin' hours. You know what I mean? I like the journey of going from nothing to something during the campaign. Obviously, you're going to be the cooking really starts in the end game. That's where you get even stronger and beefier, and you know, you get all these powerful skills and weapons. But I like that journey. I don't want to be God as soon as I walk into a game. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Audible Note? They just fly through the campaign. Yeah.
It's crucial. It's so crucial. I believe it was Chris Wilson who said that.
Yeah, I like the journey. That's the point of the journey. Exactly,
and
Audible.
They get to match,
exactly.
They own their soul. Or something like I believe it was Chris who said that. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, but if they don't get there, they don't get to see the vastness of the options and variety and endgame type of events or stuff that they can do, and the player agency involved in that as well. It's just so insane. I mean, they're releasing more content in the early access than most AAA companies have released in many, many years. And then they have the audacity to say, yeah, we're just going to casually double that. You know? So, yeah, I think that to answer your question, the decision to...
Personally, look, you guys also have to remember Right now, they're saying what 25 to 50 hours for the campaign, but that's gonna change. That's the first playthrough. You're not familiar with the mobs. You're not familiar with the area. You don't know where you're going. Everything is slower on the first playthrough, and that's only going to get quicker and quicker. Even someone like me, a newbie in Path of Exile, my campaign used to take me over a week, like 2 weeks, right? Now I can do it in like 2 days. And when I mean 2 days, I mean streams, right? So that's 4, 5, 6, like, 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours. Well, let's say 15-ish hours. And there's people that can do it way, way more quicker. My point is, the more we play the game, the more quicker the campaign is going to go. It's the point of the journey. We were talking about you on Hog's channel. What? Audible note. I love Hog. I tell him all the time, don't change. He had so many positive comments and love. Yeah, right back at him, man. He's a good bro. He's a good bro. He's another one. Super supportive. Super supportive. I need to learn the lore. I'm with you, Real Caged. I'm with you. That's one of the things that I don't go out of my way to do, and I need to. I would love to understand the story. Hey, Gav HD, you're thankful for POE2 release. I bet you that was uttered today probably a gazillion times. In POE2, if you're too low of a level, you will die a lot. You need the levels to be stronger. Yeah. Hey, hand reader, after a few thousand hours, I decided to check out the lore. Really? You absolutely love it now? Hey, hand reader, if you can suggest to the community a couple of people to watch, that'd be great. Like, I would love to learn it from the beginning.
Get cruel difficulty, I think, is a good choice, because I'd rather see that than them making a half-ass version of the end game, starting from at level 45 or whatever it is. And instead of doing that, they're saying, well, just play the campaign again. Maybe you missed something or whatever, but it's going to put you at the level, estimated level that you're going to want to be on for the end game that we have. So they don't have to make any compromising decisions in terms of difficulty scaling for the end game as a result of that. So I don't mind it, but
Yeah.
I'm just happy the end game is going to be the focus, even for early access.
Best decision.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine.
Best
and
decision.
by that point, the 3X, they're pretty beefy anyway. So if someone makes it there, they find out, okay, got to run through them again to get to this end game. I wonder if there's going to be like a hint that after the 3 playthrough, there's like something else. Or if a brand new player who imagine isn't plugged into any of this, they get to the end of Act 3, and then it's like, all right, portal to the riverbank again. And they're like, what do you mean a portal to the riverbank? I wonder if it would be worthwhile for them to put something in there that kind of says, okay, well, now you're going to play one more time, and then you open up the entire game. Because when I first played Path of Exile 1 in Blight League was when I started. I was a witch. I don't even think I ascended. I remember I reached the end game right after ExileCon. And the moment I opened the Atlas and saw that, I was a little floored. I was like, oh my gosh, there's all this extra stuff here, and this is just the beginning. Like, I'm starting on this little circle, and then it branches out. I can't imagine what somebody is going to think if they are, like I said, dumb to the news, and they open up the Atlas at the end of the game, and it just opens up the world map of Rayclast. A 3D map that you go, you explore, have fun. I mean, what do you think about that shift from the really flat, finite Atlas to this?
I think that most people playing early access won't have any problems with this whole thing with going into cruel difficulty. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
I agree with Gazzy.
The vast majority of the players actually playing early access are informed of this. But because it's early access, you have to buy in. I think that most people at least, would have that information and understand why that is and that is happening. But fast forward and going to the point where a new player comes in, they play through the 6 acts and open up the Atlas. I don't think it's going to be like a that kind of wow effect for how it looks, which it
Yeah, Steve, I hear what you're saying, Steve, but they've already said it's just as big as the 10. Like, you can't look. You're looking at it numerically. Path of Exile 10x. Path of Exile 2 only 6x. But I wouldn't look at it literally numerically. You know what I mean? There's not going to be there. It's not shorter. It's not. It's not. So I don't think there's a concern there. And Henrieter, if you have some content creators for lore, you just gave me a great idea, because we have 7 days till the the early access. So maybe as fillers, maybe what we can do is we can, I don't know, maybe I'll ask the community if they would be interested in starting to watch some lore videos as in between all the new stuff that's dropping in Path of Exile 2. Maybe we can watch that together. I mean, at the end of the day, majority of people play RPGs for the end game anyway, so a shorter campaign is really not a problem. I just think that's going to be, you're not even going to look at it. I think the campaign is going to be hopefully the right length and the right time, just enough to whet our appetites. I don't want it to be a super long campaign, because that's where you're going to get a lot of the griping. But again, only time will tell. You all know about the drama between Hogg and Quinn? Yeah. Yeah, Audible Note. I saw he called him, Quinn basically said that Hogg, I thought he didn't like Path of Exile. Meanwhile, Hogg has been streaming Path of Exile for God knows how long. And I saw Hogg's reaction to it. And not that it needs any more validation, but Hogg was constantly asking me to join his guild in Path of Exile. And plus, he's been streaming it for over the last year. So anyway, whatever. Lore creation is good. Drifter. A watch listen party of it would be awesome. It goes by Axe, the links I sent. Okay. It's usually a gripe because people have to redo it for alt characters. Yeah. Yeah, but that's part of the journey. It's part of the journey, Gav HD. Like, can you imagine? I don't know. Like, anyway, we talked enough about the skipping campaign stuff. It is what it is. They're not going to take it out. It's just the way that Grinding Gear Games wants it. Actually, Jonathan called it out in one of the interviews. He mentioned the skip campaign. Other games have skip campaign. We want our campaign to mean something. I'm paraphrasing, but
I think it is for us POE1 players, because we go from the flat, 2D approach of the Atlas to this magnificent display of it. To me, that just feels like, and I don't want to undermine it, because I think it is amazing. But I do believe that it's more like this is the next natural evolution of the RPG genre, and it feels really good to see that it's a higher quality, it's perceived better, it's more interesting, it's more visually pleasing. It's just better on all fronts, and in that sense. But we don't know if it's mechanically better. We'll have to play test that. Right. But from what we've seen, it is visually pleasing, and I think that's going to be amazing. Whereas a new player who's never touched POE1 goes in, they haven't seen the bare bone structure to now it's fleshed out. Transition. So I think for them it's like, oh, this is good, this looks great. That's going to be their opinion, is my take on it. Whereas it's more of a wow effect for us that play POE1.
Do you like the new way they're doing maps, wherein you don't get to choose the tile set really that you're?
Actually, guys, Audible Node brings up a very valid point, and he's right. Jonathan said it, that the reason why they want the campaign is because when they do the league resets and you can't skip the campaign, everybody starts at the same starting point. So he doesn't want new players to feel like, he wants them to feel like they're on the same level as experienced players, because we all start from the same starting point. Thank you for saying that, Audible Note, because the light bulb went out when I read your message. That's right. Jonathan said that in an interview. Thank you for highlighting that. He did say that. So that's a good justification on why grinding gear games will never have that. Well, never say never, but that's why they don't want the skip campaign kind of feature in their game. They want the person that just walks into the game to feel the same as an experienced player. Like, obviously, knowledge-wise, they don't, right? But we all start from the same starting point.
Entering, you're opening a waystone. You're on a path. You're trying to get to certain maps, perhaps if you prefer, the desert maps or the jungle maps, but you're no longer saying, I'm gonna sit in Crimson Temple for the next 2 months and go nowhere else. I'm personally a fan, but I know a lot of people really like the familiarity that comes with just being able to do the same layout in an ARPG, right? This is a massive shift compared to that, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I played Path of Exile for 10.5 years and streamed it for just as much. And in the start, early on, like this whole pressing meta power creeping of doing the most optimal, do the same map over and over and over again, that already shifted when they allowed us to scry div cards away from one and the same map to allow us to have some options. And I think that was really good in POE1.
Yeah.
But it also has a lot to do with currency acquisition. If you're playing trade software, for example, or trade in general, I've decided very early on to do that through crafting and stuff like that. So I didn't have to worry about the wealth I got from drops, which allowed me to have more fun with the game, because then I didn't have to stay in one map. I could play whatever map I felt like doing at the time, and whether or not I made profit from it, I couldn't care less. And that made the game so much more fun for me. So the POE2 structure is basically just forcing, or a pseudo forcing is into the way I like playing Path of Exile already. So I'm just very happy about it.
That's awesome. And Gazi, I know when we first hopped on a pod to cast together, it was with DM, and you explained to me that you have a trade empire, right? People that feed you currency and item, and you work on the crafts with them and the like. Are you gonna do that for Path of Exile 2, or do you think that is that gonna be possible? Like, what are your plans there? I don't know. I think that was live. I think that was public.
He has an empire. Ooh.
Yeah, it was public, so I feel okay talking about it.
The trade empire. Last 3 leagues, it's been me and one other guy. Trade empire. By the way.
Oh no! I think this was what was it, 3 or 4 leagues ago? I know. Okay. It's double the players I usually do trade with, but still, okay, it's not an empire.
But it's a lot about economy 101 kind of thing. Like, when you want to craft mirror tier items, you need to have an obnoxious amount of currency, and the sooner you can accumulate that, the better. So having a small team to work on those things helps, but most importantly,
Empire Gazi, yeah.
Well, me and my friend Anter that I'm doing this with, we actually had other people helping us from the guild and my moderators. And the help I received was we used them as traders. So basically, when we had to sleep, we couldn't match it. So not one of us was awake. So both had to go sleep. Someone else took the items for sale, and they took a 10% cut of whatever they sold for. And that, it's just small things like that. But
Empire.
Trade empire. Yeah. I mean, that's one way of putting it. But it's a very, very specific.
Guys, what are the odds that Gazi sent Try a DM after this? So he called him out. He called him out on calling his wife fat, which Gazi was like, wow, coming in hot. And now he's saying he has an trading empire. What do you think that the message said?
Specific way to play the game. Only a fraction of the 1% players are actually playing that way, and it has a purpose, and it's a lot of work. You play basically 24/7, and you only sleep 4 or 5 hours. I'm live in POE launches. I'm live in the launches, and then I spend between 5 to 10 hours after I'm done with the stream.
The empire.
Whether or not that stream lasted 20 or 30 hours, I'm awake for the next 5 to 10 hours crafting, shipping that off to one of my guys. Then I sleep 5 hours and go live for another 20-hour session. So it's a lot of work, and most people wouldn't consider that to be worth it, but it's been a personal goal to do those mirror items in the start of the
Empire Strikes Back.
POE2, not in early access. That's not gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. You're just gonna be playing the game.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna do mirrors in POE2?
I think that they are 100% going to have mirrors in POE2.
Wow.
It'd be weird to me if they didn't include something as iconic as a mirror. And I know, but then again, the direction of the game is different, right? For POE1, very
Why I
different.
ask.
And
Yeah.
the idea with POE1 was that you were supposed to be able to craft a rare item that was supposed to be better than anything that exists in game. Uniques and whatnot can just go sit on a bench and wait, because that rare item that someone crafted for 10,000 divines is just so much better than everything else, right? And I think they're gonna want to do that again for POE2 to allow players for the end game chase of these giga items and whatnot, and then a mirror would serve a very good purpose on fulfilling that. But again, like it's so far away from the new player wave or tsunami that's about to hit the game. It's very, very limited amount of players that will even get enough currency or be lucky enough to drop one of those to utilize it. It's such a small corner of the game itself.
I love the aspirationality of it, though. I've never really killed every Uber boss. I've never had a mirror before, but given today's age where we consume all this content about the game, right? And we watch clips of you crafting mirror tier items or Ben downing all 7 Ubers, right? I mean, that type of content does have a lot of value in a game like Path of Exile, where the best among us can push their characters or just push themselves to do stuff like that. So I agree with you. I hope it's in the game. I hope it's one of those things where we're like, I'm not going to talk about it until the game releases, and there's a Reddit post showcasing the first mirror drop, or maybe there's like an in-league announcement of X person has dropped a mirror of Kalandra. I mean, something like that would be so cool. That's always one of my favorite parts of League launch, seeing like people progress through.
That's the one thing personally I'm gonna miss. I love watching Ben. Unfortunately, I don't get enough time just because, I stream as well. Although his streaming schedule, so sometimes I can watch him. But that's the one thing I'm gonna miss with the launch of early access, is the fact that I'm actually going to be streaming too and playing, because it's going to be a treat to watch him navigate this game. Like, he is definitely a cut above everyone else, the skill set that he has, the knowledge that he has. So I'm going to miss that, and who knows how long before I can actually go back and watch, which eventually I will. But I'm going to miss that because he is a treat to watch. No, Ben Audible. Ben, probably the best Path of Exile player by a long shot.
People, Tai Killer, Ben, like Elk, all them just going way ahead of us, right? I hope they have that in POE too. I wonder if they will have it.
We'll see.
Like a community
It's funny.
thing.
I've played for 10.5 years and I've never dropped the mirror.
You haven't?
Not a single one.
Dude, that's
I've
insane.
had plenty in my stash, but I never dropped one.
Yeah, see, I've seen them in the stash. I've seen you, but not dropping one 10.5 years. And then you have people who come in and play for a month and they drop a mirror, right?
That's RNG,
That's the
baby.
Glory of Path of Exile. I think Jonathan said that in his Legendary Drops interview. He's like, the feeling that next monster, no matter if it's a little crab on the beach or the biggest boss in the game, could drop the item you always wanted, is one of the thrills of Path of Exile. And the fact that it might never drop, but when it does, oh my God, you just have one of those moments that you store permanently in your head, right? It's a really cool part of the game.
Oh, for sure. I reached out to Chris Wilson about it after 10 years of playing. I wrote to him and said, dude, my account's bugged. I played for 10 years and I play a lot of hours, and I never dropped a mirror. And he just told me that there's like, I don't remember the exact numerical value, but he said there's an insane amount of hours per mirror dropped or something.
Really?
So it wasn't uncommon. That was his response. And I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. Your account's not
you
bugged,
got to play
man,
more,
but
buddy.
This is how many hours is in the realistic mirror drop. Wonder, those values, let's talk about data mining for a second, if you don't mind. You okay with talking about it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So that sort of stuff isn't data mineable. Drop rates for items and the like. I think that's always been obscured. I'm sure they
Gav HT. He's another good one.
Whereas other
they balance
things,
those on the fly as well.
Say again? Oh, they do?
They balance drop rates on the fly between leagues.
I didn't know that, actually, Gazi.
Oh, did I say something I shouldn't have said?
Day I learned. Well, hey, it's okay. I won't put it in one of those crazy new insane news videos. It's fine. It's fine. I won't with this clip. It's not going to happen. Okay, that's very cool though. Now, where was I? Oh yes, data mining. Are you against or for data mining in a game? I'm personally, I hope it doesn't happen before the launch. And if it does, I'm just not even going to cover it. I know a lot of people probably will like need to, right? Because if you suddenly have the other 6 ascendancy nodes for the biggest, best class in the game that, you know,
I
you want to
hope
make
it
a mini
doesn't
build for,
happen. Jesus.
I mean, that's basically suicide, right? I just got this video demonetized on YouTube. Damn it. It's basically you taking out your channel, yeah? Which is terrible if that actually happens, but it seems like a lot of people are like waiting for that data mined info to possibly come out. What's your take on it?
Well, I have 2 different takes, and they are
Okay.
both on the opposite side of the spectrums.
Okay.
On the spectrum. So me as a player, I don't want it. I think most of us are in that boat. We want to go in. Everyone's blind. Streamers, content creators, guide writers, and players alike. Going to go in and explore, and that's going to be the marvel of it, the joy. Oh, look at this unique. Oh shit, you can do this. Oh, look at this fight. And that's like the enjoyment out of it. It's so incredible, and that's how we used to do in the past.
Yeah.
And then you have the content creation part of it, which I don't think is a problem right now because we have so much to make content with. Me and my editor is like trying to talk about like we can only post 3 videos a day on YouTube, and I'm like, I have too many videos. I don't even know which one I'm gonna record. Imagine if we had data mining as well. I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Very true.
But not everyone is in that boat, I guess. But you have the aspect
No.
of guide writing. Like I write guides for Last Epoch, D4, Necromancer.
Icy Veins,
I'm
right?
co-writing it's Spiritborn, and I have POE Vault, which is also by Icy Veins for POE, and we're gonna have Icy Veins. You can have POE2. It's a lot, right? And all of those things, the guide writers they need to make their tools and everything to make those high quality for the audience, and that requires data mining. And being able to have those prepped up, there's a lot of traffic and all those, the SEO, all of these things matter.
Yeah,
for
Dread
that
Switch.
part of the industry, and data mining is marvelous for those. But we had data mining and everything pre-prepped, and basically the entire game was solved for, say, Diablo 4's expansion that was released rather recently. And I think I would have gotten 3 to 4 weeks of enjoyment playing Diablo 4's expansion if they didn't have data mining. I really think I would have done that because it was.
Well, you would have gotten 2-3 weeks of more playtime in that game if, to Gav HD's point, if that studio hadn't invited all the content creators to fly out, play the game, put an NDA on it, and then get them to take footage of it, get content from it, fly back, make videos on it, and then just sit on those videos until the NDA was released, which it was released prior to their expansion coming out. So the market got flooded with all this content about an expansion coming, and everybody, of course, is going to watch it. Not everyone has FOMO. No one has not a lot of people have the will to, oh God, there's details about the expansion. No, I'm not going to watch it. Not everyone has that willpower. So it just killed the vibe. Everybody knew exactly what was going on prior to that expansion, and it just killed it. What a horrible experience. And exactly what you said, Gav HD, the total opposite of this game, where I would say 95% of the people don't want to see it. They want to enjoy it first playthrough. And the studio, Grinding Gear Games, like, there was periods in the last year that I was literally like, oh fuck, man, there's nothing on POE2 right now. What am I gonna talk about? Like, there's no new content. Everything was drips and drabs, slow. Like, even now, like, they're just, they give us the odd bone, they throw it out there, they show something small. It's just a different mindset. And you know what? Everyone, it's the anticipation. You don't want to kill the anticipation. So I totally support it. And if by some chance there is a data mine in the next 7 days. There's no friggin' way I'm diving into anything that will ruin my experience. I do not want to ruin it. Like, no friggin' way. Like you guys have already said in chat, you get one chance at a first playthrough, and I do not want it to be tainted. You know what? I'll wait till next Friday. I can't believe we're saying that. I'll wait till next Friday to see what's in the game. I'll enjoy it more. Facts. Yeah, no leaks. Keep you hungry. That's right. Predefined. Absolutely. Yep, Dread Switch, you get one chance to explore. Absolutely. I've never seen this much excitement for a game launch before. Hello. Hey, Predefined. Welcome, man. Yeah. It was the genesis of my YouTube video that I dropped today. There's, I said it in the video. There's something in the air right now. This is a change of the guard. And that's the premise of the video I dropped on YouTube today. Again, I might be wrong, right? But my gut, there's something in the air. I've never seen. Of course, all big games have huge a following and stuff, but this is different. There's just something different, that it's not just its own player base, it's bigger than that. That's the feeling I get, and only time will tell, but there's something big happening here. This is potentially the future of ARPGs. It's just so remarkable. Something's in the air. Good videos per usual. Oh, thank you, McRich. Yeah.
It was really fun to enjoy and explore those things, but we did that before the game launched. And then, we posted everything was ready, and then the game launched, and I got like 2 weeks of enjoyment, and then it was boring again. And that's kind of the theme.
He's talking about the game we don't want to talk about.
That it ruins the enjoyment of games for many players, but it also allows players to have this mindset that they're going in, they know that they have like a structured guide or whatever they're following, so they can somehow think that basically what it does, it gives them a template to follow. And
Right.
some people prefer to play games that way, and that's like the bane of content creation over the past decade plus, where games are sold, guides are out there, you're not really playing the game yourself, you're just following a structured guide or template tells you what to do. And some people like that because their enjoyment comes from other aspects of playing that way, and that's fine. But I think that most of us has been around and play the games for a long time, not the younger audience maybe, but most of us have played the games. We want to go back to how it was back in the day, where you were there on the beach, you couldn't move till a timer hit 0. Now it's time to start playing the game, and we know nothing. It's just explore and be surprised and shocked about things we encounter.
Here.
That enjoyment, you don't find that in many games. I'm very happy that they're not allowing us a data mine.
Yeah, I'm really hoping nothing comes out from the Xbox client that's already downloadable. And when we preload, hope it's in the dark. I hope they do a good job hiding a lot of that info. Like they have been doing that with unique items, I think, for a little bit of time in new patches, where the uniques aren't actually data mined. They're found and posted onto the internet, and that's how you find them. I really hope that golden age sticks around at least for like a week or so. Obviously, day one, we're all going to log in. We're going to get to that first trial, and people are going to click on the ascend, and they're going to find all the nodes. That's cool, though. That's cool because everyone won't be, most people won't be on the internet reading about, oh my gosh, here's all the ascendancies. They're going to be in the game playing, or they're going to be in the queues upset.
Oh, the queues.
So yeah, right. So here's the thing. If the servers go down, after people get the ascendancies and like, all right, okay, maybe look at the ascendancy nodes. But if everything goes smooth with grinding your games, just play the game, find it out for yourself, explore it. I mean, one of the biggest mysteries, Gazi, one of the most exciting things for me, and I'm asking this to every single person I talk to, that damn pinnacle boss that Mark says is the hardest content he's ever made in Path of Exile. What do you think it might be? Like, is it an old foe? Is it a new foe?
I think they're gonna have a new one to make it more refreshing for sure. But give it like 3 hours, and Taita Killer and Ben is gonna be head-to-head fighting it. And unlike us mortals, we weren't bred in a test tube like Ben. So it's like it's gonna be fun to see when they get there and kill it before anyone else has hit level 50. But we'll see. But I'm very excited for it. It's gonna be fun.
On that, do you think that it's going to be as easy? Because we have one portal, and you have to go from 100.
Hey, Mr. Jugs. Anyone know if I have to buy 2 packs to play on PC and Xbox? Yes. The key will give you access to early access from where you purchased the key.
to 0, and a lot of stuff unlocks throughout the fight, right? So with someone, and you have to do it in that chance. I think if you portal out, maybe you can portal out in the fight or log out during the fight. I don't even know. Like, I think it's going to be a lot harder for Ben this time.
Thanks for the
Tai
follow.
or whoever gets there, Jung, Elk.
Oh, no worries, buddy. And thank you for the follow, man.
Because you get the one shot and then you're out, I think other people might actually get an opportunity on it. Unless, I mean, they are kind of a step above. Like, I don't know. I'm coping here. I'm like, oh, somebody else, a rising star, some random player who's never been heard of before. Suddenly it's going to see, this random star has killed Zana or something like that. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, what is going on?
No, it's going to be Ben.
Cool.
I think that, well, one of the concerns I think myself and many others have is the portal, that you only have one shot, especially when we haven't encountered it. Yeah, so the one life thing. I think a lot of people are concerned about that because not about it being too difficult or anything, but rather the difficulty of the boss being easier because you have one portal. Because I think that an aspirational endgame content like that should be very hard. And if you only have one shot at it, they might make it easier because of that. So I think a lot of people are concerned,
actually.
or at least some people I know for a fact are concerned about them being too easy as a result of you only having one chance at it. So I just hope that they're going to make the fight so ridiculously hard that you really are going to have people find it and be like, oh, I'm going to fight it. And then you immediately just not do it. And then there's going to be this build up with a hype around. It's like, oh, this is actually really hard. People need to prepare before they do it and all those things. I like that aspect of it, but I'm sure there are other sides of this argument from other people as well. But the concern I have is that it might be going to be a little easier than we hope it's going to be because of the portal situation. But we'll see.
My dream that I had about it last night. Steve. Yeah, I'm dreaming about Path of Exile now, you guys. They say that there's a maze around this boss arena. So now I'm thinking going in there with one portal against the boss, not knowing anything about it will be pretty tough. I'm wondering if they're going more so a raid type approach where in this labyrinth leading up to the boss, you're going to get exposed to the different mechanics, maybe kind of introduced to what you're going to find.
That would be
that
awesome.
By the time you fight the boss, it's those mechanics maybe ramped up to 11, some new stuff sprinkled in there, because you're right. Maybe they feel like they need to design it to be easy because the one portal, but it can't be, man. It has to be hard. Mark said it's the hardest stuff he's ever made. All right, and I don't think he's lying. I do believe Mark at this point. I really do. So he has followed through on a lot of stuff. Neversink yesterday said he thinks that Mark is like one of the architects of this new end game. Like he was just like, all right, I'm going above. I'm just molding it all myself. Here we go. It's gonna be amazing. And given all the things that he's done in like Path of Exile 1, boss fights that we've seen, I think he might be right.
I mean, he was part of the gauntlet stuff as well. So I mean,
the double Maven lasers. Hard. That's what we're gonna fight, dude. We're gonna walk in. It's gonna be like a triple Maven laser arena up the entire time. Mega memory game, right? Just everything stuffed into there.
Yeah, see you next year for me.
It's gonna be fun,
that's the case.
Something that GGG has always done well with POE1, for example, is the whole idea of introducing mechanics before a boss fight that uses them. One prominent thing is like I forgot the name of the area where there's Yugul. In the area leading up to Yugul, you have these blobs, right? The water bubbles that follows you, deals that damage. They're frustrating to deal with. And you deal with them before you get to the boss. And in the boss fight, you're now going to have that being one of the core mechanics.
Yeah, triple Maven.
So having these maces and these, I believe there's like 3 mini bosses before the big one or something like that, right? In the big one. So I'm very confident that they're going to slowly introduce these mechanics so that people can engage with them. And then you're going to have, assumingly, I'm expecting them to have all of these mechanics into one fight instead. But you've already been exposed to them, so you know how to handle each mechanic separately. Now you're just gonna have to deal with it all at once.
What do you guys think about this pinnacle boss thing? Like, do you think developers should make, like, it's the fight, right? Don't you think it should be like insurmountable, like to a certain degree, obviously, but I would prefer that people are going in there and dying and it takes like a week or 3 or 4 days for someone to beat it. Don't you think do you guys think that's better for the game or worse for the game? I think I'll die. Casual grinder, I usually don't think. Welcome, man. I usually don't think. Oh shit. It's better to have something to chase. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards, is like if I'm playing on December 6th and I'm going through and chat's coming in and saying, 8 hours into it, oh, so and so got into the pinnacle boss and he died. Day 3, no one still beat the pinnacle boss. Like, that kind of just, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards. The tier 5 version, yes, but the tier 1 or 0, depending on what you pick, you'd be more approachable because there are 5 versions of every pinnacle. Okay, good point. Okay, so the top one should be the GOAT. As hard as they can think of, and it's constantly changing as you lower the health. I think from a content point of view, it's funny until I have to do it. Right. I know it's easy for me to say it now, but then when I go there and I'm on my 10th attempt, it's like, okay, bro, like enough's enough, right? It's like my first attempt to, and I always mispronounce his name, Series, whatever. I call it Cyrus. I call him Cyrus, but it took me like how many times to fight him until I finally beat him. In my opinion, we have to build the resistance or type of defenses we need for the boss, at least if it's not PKing every move. Else, we have to learn mechanics like the pinnacle on POE1. Yeah. Play Black Myth Wukong. People were stuck for a week to beat a certain boss. Yeah. Yeah, it's the Elden Ring, Dark Souls kind of boss fights where some people, like, you're literally spending the first 10 deaths just learning the boss mechanics, right? The whole point is sometimes you're just, okay, he does 1 here, then 2 here, and then he throws himself forward, and then, like you're learning the pattern, right? Going to be awesome to learn mechanics 1 phase at a time and then earn your next shot. Yeah, exactly. In D2, people just face tank smite the Uber bosses, but POE tends to be more mechanical. Cyrus was a great feeling the first kill. Oh my God, Peter. Oh my God, bro. I so agree with you. You have no idea just the satisfaction of when I finally did it. I was like, thank God. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of tend to lean on, you know what? Make it tough.
My joke is that we're gonna walk into that boss arena and it's gonna be a die beam from Cirrus just instantly welcoming us. So or something.
Okay, Series.
Like
okay, it's pronounced
it
Series.
Try's
Try's pretty good at pronouncing it correctly.
Theorizing it might be a Zaro that's somehow in there. And how beautiful would that be, Gazi, if you walk into this labyrinth and you hear like the Lord's labyrinth greets you, like just because he's one person.
How does hardcore POE2 player learn? They learn to be patient because they're going to be restarting the game a lot. I dropped Awaken multi-strike on my first kill. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Predefined. In softcore, people always grind and eventually get through it. Yeah, I did hear Ben say that I think he's gonna start on hardcore until he dies to see how far he gets, and then he's gonna go on softcore. But there are gonna be people that are gonna try hardcore just so they can say, "Hey, I'm doing hardcore first time through." Being able to beat a boss at a lower level because you know the moves will be nice, though. Yeah. You're going solo self-found softcore, then transfer to softcore. Masochist, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know if he's changing his mind. I haven't watched his stream in a while, but I caught him, and I caught him one evening, and he said that. He just happened to mention on stream. I don't know if things have changed, but has Ben already played at the events? I don't know, McRich, but none of them have played past Act 3, if I'm not mistaken. Like a lot of the people that have played, it's been, the early acts. I don't think anyone's has played anything past that. You guys correct me if I'm wrong if you know of anybody, but I don't think anyone's played. It's all early acts. Hey, I stand alone. I think it's better to run around at the corners of the map during early access and then go to the boss, etc. There's nowhere to rush. Hello. Yeah, there's no rush.
But I'm kind of upset we'll no longer be in Path of Exile 2 just because of like the voice acting and the lines. Everything does seem top tier, but missing him, I mean, it's gonna be unfortunate.
Well, I mean, POE2 takes place 20 years after POE1, and God knows how many times I've killed this guy, but Isaro is dead.
He is dead.
He's very dead.
Very dead.
So I don't think it's going to be Isaro.
We think he's dead. They could do a piety.
Okay?
No. Everybody hates it with the piety, right? But if they do it with Isaro, I think people would be fine with it, okay? It's piety, it's piety, it's piety, it's piety. And then it's Isaro, and everybody's like, oh, please, yes, sweetie, yes, I want Isaro.
I don't know enough about the lore.
I'd rather see the pinnacle boss be a return of Zana after she ran away.
Oh, Zana. Neversink thinks it's Kalandra.
Kalandra?
Yep.
No, I can't. I get flashbacks of 319.
The pillars are like the 319 lake pillars that are around the arena. They're like hexagonal things. Could be her. Could be her. Because we were missing that boss fight. It's probably because it wasn't finished for Kalandra, and they said, we can make this the hardest boss fight ever in Path of Exile 2. Let's just save it for that game,
That's a fair assessment. It's all right. I'm pretty hard no one because we kill him, right?
Okay.
Well, I really hope they're not going to do a piety, though. Like, most of us don't really care that much about the campaign or the lore, and I know Jonathan wants people to care more about it in POE2, which I think is naturally the case. But I played POE for so long, and I still don't know why we're killing piety 700 times. I still don't know. I mean, finally, when Malachi impales her, that's when it's over. It's like, finally, it's done.
Yeah. All right, well, Gazi, you're going to have to watch some lore videos to prep for Path of Exile 2 because you are going to listen to all the dialogue, right, on your first playthrough.
Yeah.
Okay, they're watching, Gazi. They're watching. Just nod. Just.
They're watching. Like yeah, of course. Definitely gonna watch all of it and deep dive it, every word. I'm gonna find all the grammar mistakes and everything as well.
That's what we want to hear, man.
I mean, Kit Kat Noodle is famous, like very known for her lore series. So actually, might be worth get a grasp of POE1 lore moving in.
Yeah. She does a good summary of all of it too in the videos. They're concise, so I'd give them a watch. If you have some time to burn on stream, doing your crazy 8-hour streams.
They're stealing our ideas, guys.
Are you doing a subathon too for Path of Exile 2 launch? You are.
Yes.
Is your sister coming out again?
Yes. The TLDR is they said June. They delayed it to November, and I was like, okay, it's happening in November. Let's get my boys in. I had a friend of mine take unpaid leave from his work. I was like, I'll compensate you. Let's get here. Let's do this. I flew my sister down. She took unpaid leave from her work. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to delay it till December. And I'm like standing there, bro, I got to pay these people. But they managed to get their work hours back. And my friend couldn't do it on December. But my little sister is going to be flying down and helping me with the subathon. So when I do have to sleep, she will be playing instead. and there's some really stupid shit going on the sub goals. We're gonna have like key giveaways and PC hardware for some sponsors and
That doesn't
hot
sound
tub
stupid.
hot tub stream in a maid outfit.
That sounds stupid.
Inflatable banana. Yeah, it does.
What?
Having my sister cut my hair. I haven't had a haircut in forever. My hair is like so long right now.
Oh my, yeah. Look at those luscious
And,
locks.
A
Very nice.
waxing siege session is also in the list. It's like there's a lot.
Oh
of
man,
stuff.
that better be a high.
Okay, guys, so can I just get a point of clarity? Like for subathon, so subathon means you have to, like, you can't shut the stream. A subathon means your stream has to be on. Once you start the subathon on a stream, you can't shut down the stream. Is that what a subathon is? 24/7? Shit. I wanted to do a subathon, but I didn't realize it was 20. Oh my god, shit, that. Oh, damn. Uncapped. There's usually consequences. Well, no, that was part of my subathon. Like, you know, if we hit X amount of subs, you know, I was going to do some giveaways. I was going to do some crazy shit too. But there's no way I'm going to, you know, there's just no way. You can have a subathon, just have a cap. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to, you know, if that's the way it is, I'm not going to circumvent it by making up bullshit outs for me. No. My wife come and play? Are you kidding me? My wife. Do a Sammy giveaway week. Damn, man, I had all, like, oh, damn it. Okay, anyway.
Sub goal, dude. Is it? Please tell me it is.
I haven't listed the numbers yet.
Oh, you have?
I'm
Okay.
Still deciding.
The
You know, I
waxing
did a
sounds the
wax.
worst.
I did a wax a few months ago, and like I got a hairy guy. Like I got hair.
I mean, I'm decent
Yeah,
too.
you and
you
I,
know?
Thanks
like,
for the
about
follow.
same. Yeah, about the same.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
Your
Hey,
legs
on
are the
that,
same,
thank you.
right?
My legs are legs very
Yeah.
hairy, hairier.
Don't ever
actually.
wax them. Don't
Yeah.
wax them.
I haven't waxed them.
Good.
No, I only clean certain areas of my body. Okay.
Yes.
Not,
No, I'm on the same.
Okay, how about this? Can I have a just sleeping and put something up on screen and I go sleep for 4 hours, 5 hours and come back and I just leave the stream on? Is that acceptable? No, I'm not going to be. Guys, I'm in my basement. I can't sleep in my basement. I'm going to go sleep in my bed for like 4 or 5 hours and then come back. I think you can do whatever is best for your health. Not with that attitude.
Same boat normally.
yeah. Like
I
this
had
hair
like
is
this goal,
fine.
right? So
Yep.
yeah, so we waxed the leg, like half my my chin, right, like on the leg, and then that hurt like a motherfucker. And this was months ago. It still hasn't grown out properly. You can see the shades still to this day. This was months ago. So don't do it. It's not worth it.
It's not going to happen. But you know what is going to happen, Ghazi? Path of Exile 2 is going to launch in 8 days' time. All right, man. It has been wonderful chatting with you here today. Is there anything you want to say to people watching the VOD, people in the chat right now about POE2? Any reason they should log in, buy a supporter pack right now?
I mean, they're releasing more content in an early access than any AAA company has done in many, many, many years. And the buy-in is $30. And if you're not able to do or pay $30, then wait for the launch, and it's going to be free to play with that content. But they're doubling that for the launch, so it's going to be even more. There's no reason not. So basically, the argument is very simple. If you like ARPG games, there's no reason not to try Path of Exile 2 because it's free. That's just the argument there. There's no point not trying it.
Yeah.
Well, Ghazi, Barry finally said the first quadruple A game, perhaps. Congratulations, GGG. Everyone watching right now, you can find Ghazi mostly on twitch.tv. He streams all the time. He's going to do that big subathon. You want to see him get waxed once more. You want to see him in the maid outfit, in the hot sub, on the banana between his legs. It just has to happen, everybody. I'm probably going to throw a sub over there for him, too.
There's an image.
And if you don't want to watch him on Twitch, he does YouTube videos all the time. What is it? youtube.com/GossyTV, I think. Perfect. 3 a day right now. He's railing them out there, okay? Way more than I've ever done. And they're all very high quality. Thank you to his editor and to your beautiful voice for narrating them, dude. Thank you so much for being on here. I'm going to go eat in a little bit and sleep, probably, because I am blasted. I'm blasted at this point. I don't know how you do it for 8-9 hours a day.
You get used to it. Trust me. You're doing well, man. You've been doing really good with YouTube and the streams and everything. Thanks so much for having me on this, by the way. It's been fun seeing you grow as a content creator. So I mean, give it a little bit more time, and then I'm sure we're gonna see you do full time here very soon.
We'll see, man. That'd be awesome. The graphs are green. The numbers are like this. I'm excited. If you haven't subscribed already to the video, I don't know why you've watched an hour-long video of mine and haven't subbed to the channel. Please subscribe now, like the video, and I will see you in the next one. It is with the boys over at Forever Exiled, Tags and Record of Days, and Schwingy. I'll see you all tomorrow. Talakura. Stay sane. That was fun, Ghazi. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks
dude.
for having me. You got to say hi to your wife for me. I still feel so awkward about that because, like, you were laughing when I said it as well.
Because I thought it was funny. I'm a dark humor guy.
It was
She's
funny.
Not, though.
It was apparently
It
not.
was funny.
No. She was legit.
She was not
"Oh,
amused, Ghazi.
This is going to be a hard 3 days here in LA if these are how all the POE people act. And I'm like, no, you're okay. It was totally a joke. It's totally fine. But I had to open with
you
it.
said that she felt like I was welcoming because, like,
Yeah,
every
you
time
were.
there's new people from the community, it's like, yeah, listen, we're all friends here. Like, group up, have a good time, drink some Vanilla Sky in the bar.
I didn't drink anything. I think next time I'm going to have to. I haven't drank in a long time. But
What?
next time I get to hang out with all my POE people, I'm just going to go fully unhinged. Just going to.
Oh wow.
Just
loose.
don't smoke whatever Valina is smoking.
Oh, no.
Don't do it.
I have never smoked anything in my life. So I have
Don't
tried
start.
edibles. Edibles.
Oh wow.
So
This
I
is
live
going.
next to a
This is
highway.
interesting.
And I had an edible, like, I think it was like 7-8 months ago at this point. It was before my second daughter was born. And after I had it, I laid down on the couch and I'm like 2 miles from the highway, okay? I could hear the vibrations of every single car, I swear, on the highway. Like, it was a surreal
He was on a
experience.
trip.
I was like, what is going on? Maybe I'll do this again, maybe never again. I haven't done it since. But it felt like I was transported to a different plane of reality, which is a wild feeling. And I can remember it. You know, if you ever get super drunk, you usually can't remember what it really feels like unless you get really sick. This I can fully remember and recall. Very different.
I mean, like, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I'm doing this now. It's just an unnecessary expense, nicotine addiction.
Oh, okay.
But like, it's weed is illegal in Sweden.
Oh, it is.
So I haven't done it in I haven't done it in freaking forever. And we get to this LA event, and Valina's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go out and smoke," and we're drunk, and I just have this brilliant idea. Oh, it's legal here. It's been forever. I like the taste of it. So whatever, I'm drunk as fuck going out there, and Valina's like, she gives me one, and she says, "Oh, it's strong," and I don't fucking know what's strong or not. I have no
Wow.
idea. So I'm like puffing on this thing, and then after a while, like, yeah, okay, this is almost over. Maybe I should just give this away to someone because I ain't gonna do well. Get back to the bar, and I remember standing there with my drink, and I feel like I know that I'm doing this with my body, and I'm like, Cassie, stop, and I stop, and I think about it, and then I keep doing it again, and the entire world's just spinning. I was like, that's not good. So I had to sit down, but I slept like a fucking angel afterwards.
There you go. Right? Don't you feel just, it's so at ease? Like, I'm waiting until my daughter gets like a little bit older and everything, because right now it's like, at any moment I might need to help, and I want to be ready to go. Once I get, if I can have like a few hours of just chilling, then, I might partake again. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's good. That's good. Everybody is like, what the hell? What is this? I didn't think Try was like.
Yeah, I think we'll stop right there. Wow, what a story. Man, I want to go have a beer with Ghazi, man. That's my kind of guy. That's the kind of guy I can like to go for a beer with. I think I'd get along with him really, really good. Mookie smokes. Try looks so clean cut. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't know if Try's gonna, be following Ghazi and whoever that other person was to go outside and smoke a blunt. Ghazi looks like you in the past. You get high and play games. He gets high and gets superpowers. Predefined. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, they got superpowers. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at Try, man. He's, what is he? 90 pounds soaking wet? God bless him. The guy's super thin. Looks like he takes care of himself. I don't know, man. Try. Just in case you're watching this, no disrespect, but I think a couple of beers and one puff, and we're carrying you to the hotel room, man. that's the way I see it. But who knows? Actually, wait a minute. Maybe I'll take that back. I had, back in the day, I had one of my best friends, basically, kind of probably a little bit taller than Try. Although I don't know how tall he is, but the same figure, skinny guy, he could pound them back. So who knows? Maybe Try's a heavyweight. Be nice to Paul Rubin. Try would get done with, yeah. Again, don't judge a book by its cover, guys. I had a friend, same physique. He could keep up. So anyway, but yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that. That's like, one shot, a puff, and, we're taking him back to the hotel room and then going back to the bar, of course. My God, what a way to end the interview. Anyway, what a great interview. Try has been knocking it out of the park. Thank you, Try. Thank you, Ghazi, man. Like these interviews that Try's been doing, and I think he's doing over 40 of them. and I'm one of them. I'm going to be on the 16th of December, 8 p.m. We'll announce that earlier, closer to it. But he was gracious enough to ask me on. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, but these interviews, man, really, really good. Getting to know everybody. But a lot of the guys that he's talking to are OG POE, they've been in the community. Like, look at Ghazi. Ghazi's been playing forever. Super intelligent, knows the game. Like, unbelievable. Looks like a really, really, really good guy. But yeah, so I like this idea. Hey, Mokesh, what class am I playing? I'm going to announce it December 5th. Try on one stream said he not drink and he was out from one glass of wine. Yeah, that's what I mean. Again, judging a book by its cover, but you never know, right? Yeah. Sammy going to be Sammy Potter. No. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I love the idea. I'm gonna let it simmer a bit, but I like the idea of using the next 7 or 8 days during my streams to maybe start watching the lore. That might be a good idea. Now I just have to find someone that's really good at it, that's engaging, and we're all not going to fall asleep. But I would love to learn the lore of Path of Exile. Take it from Moki, do some homework. Guys like me who only been playing a year or two, look up some of the history of the game and some great moments before the interviews. Drake, you can give us a TLDR of POE lore? Oh, this should be good. Give it to us, Drake. That creates a plot for POE2? Okay. The lore, you say? Tri says he reads the lore, and another guy he's interviewed on Still Sane does as well. Ooh. Kitten Cat Noodle is the one for lore. Okay. Kitten Cat Noodle. Thank you, Henreader. Let me type it a little bit. Wait. Okay, as long as you don't have spoilers, Drake, we're going to watch it. We're going to watch Kitten Cat Noodle. Apparently, and Gazzy mentioned Kitten Cat Noodle too, so I would imagine that's the person to watch. Okay. What's up next? Hey, Spicy McHaggles. KCN for sure. It's pretty detailed, over an hour. We got lots of time. We got over 7 days. Sammy's class reveal is my birthday gift. Oh, that's right, Chris. It's your birthday on the 5th. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'm gonna screw up and announce it. Although, you guys, you know what? I just thought of something for the subathon. Maybe I can talk to my brother. Maybe I can talk to my brother and he can stream for like 5 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. The problem is he's on shift work. It all depends on whether or not. I pray the Exile 2 fully comes out before the 25th. Huh? Okay, so next up, we're going to watch Ziggy D. Ziggy D released a video on the Ascendancies Explained. I thought it would be a good video since Ascendancies are important to all of us. So I did watch a little bit of this, not much of it. So I'm going to put the video on. Yeah, that Ziggy D is a good one, Jet Switch. Oh, okay, good to know, because I really didn't watch a lot of it. I watched maybe the first 4 minutes or so just to see what it was going to be like. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be good for the stream. So, okay, so I'm going to go take a washroom break. And I'll leave the stream on, and you guys can watch what I already watched, and then I'll be back. Okay, let me turn off the music. And let's watch Ziggy D. Start with the actual lore origins, then look up great moments in the meta or the streaming game history. Techies! What's up, bro? I remember Ziggy from a long time ago doing build guides. Yeah. Well, he's the one now that's the go-to interviewer, right? He goes down and talks to the GG boys. I'll give you stuff to talk about the interview. Okay, Mokesh, got it. You get exiled, you help people in raid class to reach Oriath, you wake the beast in process, release gods. Now you have to kill the gods to reclaim control, including Kativa, now 20 years later. Man, men want the same power. Hoping that they double down on the lore this time around, let us click on a node and have the narrator talk on while we're shredding things. They are... I think Jonathan did mention the fact that they do want to improve on the lore compared to Path of Exile. And they're also, in my opinion, improving like their cinematics. Like that live reveal video, the reveal video was the best. The music, everything about it. Like the soundtrack I'm playing in the background, like this one is off the charts. Like really, really good. Like I just think they've elevated everything. It really, in my opinion anyway. Okay. Like POE ended the era of gods. Now it's time for the era of men to rise up. That's what the cinematic says. They are no longer ruling the world. Ooh. Good. Nice, Drake. It's the land of godless ready to claim. Wow, Drake, you're summing it up with not too many words, man. Wow. That was a significant improvement in the video. Yeah, it was sourced out to someone, right? They hired someone to do it, but awesome for them. Their music was always top notch. Yeah, I just think the music we've heard in POE2 just, I don't know, to me it's resonating more. I can listen to this background here, this music in their live reveal. This is the music they played on the with the countdown. Okay, let's get to the video, guys. I'm gonna go take a piss break. I'll be right back. Hello?
G'day folks, ZD here. In Path of Exile 2, you will actually have 3 choices for trials to get your Ascendancy class.
Is that too loud, guys?
The first one to become available is the Trial of the Sekimas, part of the way through Act 2. And I was able to get some hands-on experience with this trial.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's a relief. So check out my video in the description below before you seal yourself away in a tomb experience with this trial on a mercenary on my recent trip to Grinding Gear Games Studios. Now for the new exiles joining us, Ascendancies are your subclass, or a prestige class if you will, and each character, like the mercenary, monk or witch, has a choice of 3 Ascendancy classes unique to that character. There'll be 2 at the beginning of the beta for each, with a 3rd one being added later on. Ascendancies open up an extra passive tree inside your passive tree with impactful nodes that you can spend 8 points in. These Ascendancies provide a lot of power, but also a major way to flavor and change how your build plays. Like for example, empowering your witch with blood magic as a blood mage, or alternatively, demonic fire as an infernalist. But whichever route you go, to unlock your Ascendancy and to gain the additional passive points to spend in its tree, you must first complete your choice of Trials of Ascendancy, like the one I'm showcasing here, the Trial of the Sekimas in Act 2.
I have movement in the dark. Lots of movement.
Whilst progressing through another quest in Act 2, you'll find yourself climbing through the spider-infested tunnels of the Traitor's Passage, and you may just come across someone who was supposed to remain locked away.
Gotta be something valuable behind those doors.
The imprisoning wards burned, the Jinn Balbala demands you release them, and this is Path of Exile, so through combat, naturally.
Release me! Jingaka!
This boss is quite challenging, employing a lot of roguish tricks, disappearing in smoke clouds, summoning ethereal daggers, and using high mobility hit and run tactics. This boss has quite a few tricks up their sleeves, such as hiding in plain sight and flooding the arena with toxic gas, which it took me embarrassingly long to realize that it would only recede once you actually found them. They have a few more ways to test your worth as the fight progresses, but I'll leave those for you to discover on your own. So proving yourself worthy here will take some cunning, but if you do so, you'll be given your path to ascension.
Yes, a coin.
Allow me to repay you for freeing me from my imprisonment.
With Balbala's support gained, you're able to take on the Trial of the Sekimas, where the Jinn's coin can be placed on the relic altar. Balbala will also give you your first relic to get you started, which will provide you with some buffs in the upcoming trial. These are craftable should you have the currency to do so, and with a spare augment I was able to get not only increased life, but also a chance to get double sacred water from enemies, an important resource within the trial. This is a reasonable starting point, but we can certainly find more relics inside of the trials to empower us for future attempts.
This better be worth it.
So here's how the Trial of the Sekimas works. Each room you choose on the trial map has a special theme to it, something like a trap gauntlet that you have to run and make it to the other side, a challenging fight for you to survive or overcome, or a time trial or something like that. At the end of each room, you'll gain a reward, which you will know ahead of time when selecting that room from the map. So this might be something like a key for treasure at the very end of the trial. It might be restoring lost honor, more about the honor system later, gaining the resource Sacred Water to spend in the future, or even then spending that Sacred Water on boons to make your trial easier. There's a map at the end of each room that lets you select your path forwards, and you can see a couple of steps ahead as well. You'll be able to see the reward for each path and also the room type, like for example the Gauntlet trial where you must navigate traps and enemies to just reach the other side, hopefully while avoiding taking too much damage in the process. Another example is the Chalice trials where you must kill all rare monsters in a room to fill a blood chalice. And then there's one that I rather enjoyed, the Escape trial, where you touch a death crystal and then have to disable as many crystals as you can before the time runs out, where each crystal you fail to disable will deal a certain amount of damage to you. There is, of course, treasure and enemies to distract you in the process. As you play, you'll be able to learn over time which rooms are more challenging for you or for your build, so that you can make those risk versus reward decisions better. The map can also show you purple afflictions on some of the rooms. These cursed rooms debuff you, making things harder in some way, so you obviously just want to avoid those where you can. Sometimes, however, they may be on a room that has a really good reward, or on a path that leads to really good rewards, in which case you'll have to weigh up those risk versus reward assessments. Sure, double damage taken on low life is pretty deadly, yeah, but what if I just don't get hit? Then it's fine, right? Some rooms will also offer boons as their reward. These are powerful buffs that aid you in the trial. Sometimes these boons can also come as a package deal with other afflictions, like in the Pledge to Kochai reward. These pledges can be hugely run-shaping, like for example trading off all of your armor for a huge buff to movement speed, which could really help with that whole don't get hit strategy for those afflicted with the increased damage taken. Yes, I'm sure that will play out just fine. You can also play the lottery and take a random affliction for a random boon that you don't know what either of those is going to be, or you can remove a potentially awful affliction from one of your previous poor choices just like that, at the cost of one of your boons. In the merchant reward rooms, you'll meet Barbala again, and you can spend larger sums of sacred water that you've acquired via monster kills or from the reward rooms that give you a bunch of sacred water to buy things like boons or even relics, which you can use on all future Trial of the Secama runs. So while a boon might help you right now, you might decide this run's going quite well and to get a relic that will be able to help you in future runs. So in this initial Trial of the Secamas, to ascend, you need to move simply from the leftmost room on the map to the rightmost room on the map and defeat the final boss of this level without losing all of your honor. The choices you make along the way and the boons or afflictions you receive will all make that either easier or harder, or increase the amount of bonus loot rewards you get at the end. You could do a pretty easy run through, taking very little risks and getting few treasure keys, and thus not much loot at the end to just simply ensure that you safely ascend. Or you could take a bit of a risk and come out with a bunch of jewels and currency. In my run, I aimed to get some sacred water early on in one of the rooms so that when I met a merchant, I would be prepared to buy anything really good that they had. And indeed that did pay off, as I was able to get a nice boon to make the enemies slower. And I also went for one of the Pledges of Kochai, hoping to get myself an amazing boon with a downside that I could handle, and indeed that also paid off, as I did get that huge boon to movement speed.
Jeez,
this powerful
60%.
combo of making the enemies slower and me faster really helped to secure a win on my first attempt. So this first floor is pretty short and forgiving if you take it slow, I think. Your honor only has to make it through 7 rooms and a boss, which took me about 20 minutes at a slow and careful pace. Future higher level trials that you run will have additional floors after the first, and that will make your early choices more meaningful. You'll want to stockpile sacred water to make sure that you have currency to spend at the merchants later on, and some of those afflictions that you maybe take on the first floor that don't really seem like they'll matter might start to cost you a lot more on the third floor. But for initially gaining your ascendancy here in Act 2, things are relatively simple and straightforward, and you don't have to live with the consequences of your poor choices for all of that long. You can employ a much more short-term strategy when there's only one floor to contend with. So I'll explain how failing and reattempts works now, but I do want to mention
we need to know that
the UI in this recording is not finished. Jonathan mentioned to me that there would be a special UI, maybe in the center bottom, that will show the trial's special honor resource. It's shown on my health globe, but it's really not obvious enough. The amount of honor that you have is just the combination of your life and energy shield. And just like your life and energy shield, it's also protected by your armor and evasion, as well as any other defenses you might have. Each time you take damage, you also take some damage to your honor, and lose all of your honor, and you will be ejected from the trial, even if you didn't necessarily die. I guess this is one of those situations where disgrace is worse than death. The good news is that in this first attempt at the Trial of the Secamas, where you seek those initial 2 points of your ascendancy, and to select that ascendancy class, It's easy to simply try again. Balbala will just let you keep reattempting until you find your success. That first entry token is a quest item and given to you freely. In later, higher level runs in endgame, it will become more serious as you will likely lose the coin which granted you access, and those may hold some value and be more of a finite resource. And this same system should be true for each of the trials. Easy reattempts when you first want to ascend there, but more serious stakes later on in the game. Now, if you're wondering why the Trial of the Sycamores has this honor system instead of just using life and energy shield, since they're based on those anyway, then the answer is down to recovery. Life and energy shield are designed to be easily recovered. Flasks, leech, regen, and recharge on the energy shield, for example. These all allow you to get hit by a trap or an enemy and heal before the next one is a problem. Honor, however, is harder to restore. Generally, you'll only get honor back through special encounters, things that specifically heal it, or buffs obtained during the course of the trial. Maybe something that restores honor on killing a boss, for example. Honor is a resource to be more carefully managed as such. Maybe, for example, if you've taken a lot of damage to your honor and things are looking a little shaky, you might decide to forego that more difficult treasure room and instead take an easier room with a chance to recover some of your honor at the end.
They spelled it correctly,
just so that you can make it through. This combined with the choice-based map layout gives the Trial of the Sycamores its roguelike gameplay, that more carefully risk versus reward assessed gameplay. So it's offering a different experience to what the rest of the game typically throws at you. It's a gameplay that some of you will love and some of you may not, and that's why the fact that you can choose another trial instead is a great choice for Path of Exile 2. Don't like honor or traps? The Trial of Chaos has neither of those things, in favor of a modifier wager combat system. Now, before we lock ourselves away in the Path of Exile 2 beta for weeks on end with nary a glimpse of sunlight, it's a good final chance to say some goodbyes and spend some good quality social time with friends and loved ones away from our computer. But the outside world is kind of scary. I mean, what do you even do out there with other people? Do you just watch ducks together? Is that a thing people do? Do you try and catch the ducks? Do you battle each other's ducks? Do you create synergistic duck teams with elaborate builds and an ever-evolving meta? Where are you going to keep them, and what do they even eat? Grapes? It's all quite frankly too much. Thankfully, there's my sponsor Magic the Gathering and their newest set, Foundations. It's the perfect time for you and a friend to get into the game with a solid foundation. Known in exotic Germany as Grundstein. From left to right, you're...
Wow, you're diving in the whole December? Wow. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have the first 4 days and then it'll be, back to, just my nightly streams, which probably are going to get very, very long. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could play full time the whole month of December. Jesus. Woof.
The final trial is the liquid hot magma boss, Rattlecage, the Earthbreaker. Rapid fire! This spicy boy is a big lumbering rock with some big explosions and heavy slams, each of which are very avoidable. It's kind of slow.
Why are you always sleepy?
You have plenty of space to move around initially, but Rattlecage does have a few tricks.
Hey, what's up, Mark Griggs?
Area denial abilities.
You're
where
going
slams
mercenary?
these
Nice.
Lava-spewing mini
There you
volcanoes
go.
that last quite a long time. These will end up around the edges of the arena so that you'll have to move in a bit closer to the boss to avoid them. But a well-timed dodge roll can see you through their embers safely, or slipping around behind.
I love when the
rattles to easily dodge their
crossbow
slams
heats
as a very
up.
large and
Oh,
slow
looks so
target,
good.
freeze, stuns,
Look
and
at that.
slows,
Oh
and
my
other similar
God.
crowd control effects are
Oh,
very
that
useful
looks
against
so
Rattlecage.
good.
And you can potentially chain different types of these control effects together fairly effectively. I use a lot of stun and freeze in this. Rattles has a huge life pool to match their size, and they're pretty heavily
Jesus.
armored, as well as being resistant to fire and lightning damage.
This looks
But
like
it
a
is notable
tough
that they
boss
are
fight,
vulnerable
man.
to cold damage. I'm mostly dealing fire and physical here with just a small amount of high freeze effect cold damage, so while I'm freezing well, I'm not doing a ton of damage here. I didn't really think at the time to go for the armor breaker route here, so Rattles does tank my damage quite well. Stripping their armor or using more cold damage is going to speed things along quite a bit. So take advantage of those things where you can to help the pressure of the area denial that builds up over the course of the
that
fight.
was good.
As long as you get the pacing of avoiding the large, well-telegraphed slams in the early parts of the fight, Most of the fight should be pretty straightforward. However, Rattles does get a little bit angry when their health drops low, and will do a big slam that will begin a rain of magma from the ceiling. And these hit pretty hard, so that last 30% of the fight is quite tricky. It'll likely be the greatest challenge on the first floor for some of you. You can go for the quick kill here, just to try and get that dangerous portion over with quickly if you've got a nice little buffer of honor. Or you can be a bit more careful and patient, and that's a viable strategy because it doesn't last forever. Eventually, the magma rain will stop.
Oh, okay.
Need more time.
Oh my god, the music sounds so fucking good.
However you decide to manage it, whether you take a more careful and slow approach or whether you try and rush down the boss, as long as you get through the fight with your honor at least partially intact, even just barely, then you can loot the boss, which may include some relics as well, and then enter the final room to claim your prize.
Open those
Keys that
caches.
you gathered during the course of the run from various reward rooms are shown on the UI, and here your risks pay off. The different chests in bronze, silver, and gold, with obviously scaling impressiveness of reward amounts, are also labeled with different reward types. Like, for example, the Royal Cache.
Oh my
which
god, I just noticed that. Holy shit. Jewelry, Hoarder's Cache, Gold Royal Cache, Silver Weapon Cache, Mysterious Cache, Armor, Weapon. Oh my god, that's so friggin'... That's awesome. I like that. Nice.
contain the Maraketh Trials specialty items, jewels, including the special time loss jewels
go on
only
our
available
belts.
here. Now, while regular jewels are a custom craftable passive node that you can slot into your tree, the time loss jewels alter an entire area of your passive tree's
Oh,
nodes
shit,
with new
sorry.
effects.
They're jewels.
Well-crafted
What am I
jewels of
talking
both
about?
types are going to be very sought after for just about every build, because most will end up getting at least one or two of these. And the good news is that jewels obtained even in low-level trials here could still be quite valuable long-term. But of course, the reason you came here in the first place was for that altar of ascendancy.
Yep.
From here, you can examine your ascendancy options and make your choice. And once you've decided, you'll also be granted your first 2 ascendancy passive points to spend right away. That's enough to get one of the initial notable passives. Like, for example, I picked the Witch Hunter's chance to explode enemies on kill, which was immensely satisfying.
Oh,
Now, don't feel bad if you're a bit confused on the idea of the fact that you have the choices between these different trials, of being able to choose where you ascend and get your points. I'll explain that now. There will be 3 distinct and separate trials. The Trial of the Secamers in Act 2, that Sanctum-inspired roguelike dungeon we covered here.
only 2 are
Then
going to be...
there's an Ultimatum-inspired Trial of Chaos in Act 3. This will focus on a more risk-reward combat encounters style with stacking challenge modifiers. And then finally there will be a third trial that is yet to be revealed, available in Act 4.
There you go.
This will be added to the game later in beta, because obviously Act 4
So this matches what we've heard, that there's a total of 8 ascendancy points, 6 of them in the campaign, and 2 of them in endgame. And you guys let me know if you've heard any different, but that's what I've heard, and this lines up with this. So in early access, the 6 points, we're going to be able to pick which ones we want to do. We can mix and match, or you can do the same one. Again, from what I've heard, if you guys have heard any different, please educate me, but that's what I've heard. A fart smucker. Yeah, 8. 6 in the campaign and 2 into the end game.
4 doesn't exist at the launch of beta. It'll be Acts 1 through 3. You'll be able to choose to take your ascendancy by completing the initial level of any of these 3 trials. So when beta launches, you can choose to get your ascendancy either through the Trial of Chaos or the Trial of the Secamers. So that initial run in any of the 3 to get your ascendancy is pretty straightforward, so you can just choose which one. But things get a bit more confusing in how you get your additional ascendancy passive points. So here's how that works. Each trial has 4 difficulties. Let's just, for simplicity's sake, call them difficulty 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the trial of the Sekima, for example, difficulty 1 just has 1 flaw, but in higher difficulties, it will have additional flaws and more bosses for you to do before you beat a run. Doing any single trial at difficulty 1 will give you your first 2 passive points and unlock your ascendancy. Once you've done any trial at difficulty 1, you will not be able to get more points from doing another trial at difficulty 1, because you've already beaten that difficulty. To get passive points 3 and 4 then, you need to do any trial of your choice at difficulty 2. Then points 5 and 6, you do any trial once again at difficulty 3, and of course to get points 7 and 8, you do, once again, any trial at difficulty 4, the end.
Okay, that makes sense, because when the...
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Cryptex. So on the previous diagram, and he had 222, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like, so it looks like the Sekimus is 2, Chaos is Act 3, and the Trial of Question Mark is Act 4. So basically, let's just say for argument's sake, we do the Trial of Sekimus. Let's say that's the one you want to do, right? So you're going to complete it in Act 2 at difficulty 1, right? And then you're going to go to Act 3, and the Trial of Chaos is going to come. You don't necessarily have to do it. Let's say you want to run the Sekimus all the time. So you would go back to Act 3. I forget the currency you need in order to enter it. But you would then go back to that area with the coin or whatever you need. I forget. Sorry, forgive me. And you would do the Trial of Sekimus again, but at difficulty 2. And the same thing for difficulty 3, always going back and just raising the level of difficulty. So now, to me at least, it makes sense that, because that previous illustration was like, well, wait a minute, we have the option of doing which one we want, right? But I see now it makes sense with this, because we're literally just changing the difficulty in order to do it again. So makes complete sense.
Game difficulty. So you can do all 4 difficulties in Trial of the Sekimas only if you
There
want,
you go.
and get all of your 8 passive points and your ascendancy, or you can mix and match them. Quite simply, you'll get 2 new passives each time you beat a new difficulty tier for the first time, regardless of where it is. What might end up confusing people, I think, especially coming from Path of Exile 1, is if you do the Trial of Sekimas in Act 2 and get your first 2 points, and then you do the Trial of Chaos for the first time at difficulty 1 as well, expecting 2 more points. But you've already done that kind of first tier, right? You just did it in Trial.
Oh, shit. So if you've done the Trial of Sekimus at level 1, and oh my God, I'm glad he highlighted this, and you go to the Trial of Chaos because you want to mix and match, thinking, oh, I haven't done this yet, I'll do it at difficulty 1. No, you have to do it at difficulty 2. Shit. I love how these 2 mechanics and all 4 map mechanics is something every player will want to have fun maxing gear. That's so sick how they did that. Yeah. Oh my God. Good video, Ziggy D. You have to have the right coin for difficulty 2 as well. Yes. Yeah. Because you can. Yeah. Exactly, Dread Switch. Yes. Oh my God. That's good. Thank
already.
God. I would have.
In order to get those additional points, you'll need
I would
to
have
go to a
effed
higher
that
level,
up.
get a special key to access a higher level difficulty 2 version of one of those trials.
Correct.
Now, the nuances of how to min-max this progression and what is the best strategy for different builds, etc., is for us to discover when we play.
Fart Smoker. Yeah.
I'm not going to try and guess at that here, but I will suggest this. On your first character, when you play Path of Exile 2 for the first time, just do all of them, all of these things at every difficulty. Try all of that new content and get all of the loot. That way you'll be able to find out what you like, what works well for your characters, but you'll also get to experience all this cool new content. Try not to go in with too many assumptions from Path of Exile 1 about how something
Yeah,
worked
right.
there versus how it's going to work here, because it's quite a different game in the end. On future characters and later runs, you can cherry pick your favorites and
be
do
more
speedrun
efficient.
leveling strats.
Good point,
and all of that,
actually.
but it'll be simplest and most straightforwards, and I think most fun to just do them all the first time around, whether you're getting passive points for each individual run or not.
Yeah, valid.
Most builds that are feeling pretty confident mid-Act 2 will be pretty capable of handling the challenges offered in the Trial of the Sekima's first floor, especially if you're playing it safe with your risk-reward choices on the map and just trying to get through it. If you have any form of extra mobility, or the ability to stun, slow, electrocute, freeze enemies and so on, it's going to be a good deal easier. The final boss may well be the biggest hurdle for some players with its spicy fire rain, but it's also very susceptible to crowd control effects like stun and freeze. And if you do manage to score a boon that slows enemies down or speeds you up, then it'll become a lot easier.
Jewels are
The enemies I
insane.
encountered each had well-signaled attacks, often with big wind-ups or slower projectiles, giving you lots of room
Nice
to
fart
dodge.
smucker.
It seems that they aren't really individually designed to hit you, but rather to pressure you so that you then make a mistake and get hit by a trap or get into a bad position where another enemy does hit you. This is good. I like this idea that the enemies are kind of trying to pressure you more so than individually cheat you out of your honor. It plays quite well with that honor system.
Good
Things
point,
do get a little bit
Sir
spicy
Gervalot.
when you encounter a rare monster with extra abilities, but even then I think the pacing and improved moment-to-moment combat of Path of Exile 2 makes this system work a lot better here than it did in Path of Exile 1 with Sanctum. I also never had more than a few enemies to contend with at once, even in the wave survivals that are designed to swarm you with enemies. Though I imagine if you're struggling to keep up with killing those, then you might eventually get overwhelmed. That's kind of the design of those rooms. If you're in that position, obviously you would try to avoid those rooms. Sticking to things like the trap gauntlets would allow you to run through rooms without necessarily needing to kill things. So overall, it was quite manageable to keep noticing enemies' signaled attacks even when there was a few of them around. And avoiding most damage with careful play always felt possible. I certainly did get hit and made mistakes, but I felt like I could have done things to avoid them.
Who's next?
Having access to stuns and freeze was also really amazing in here. Any crowd control that you get allows you to disrupt those like slower, more signaled enemies quite effectively. I think the only thing that stood out to me that I think could be improved was a bit better signaling of the falling magma rocks in the final boss fight. An indicator on the ground, maybe some extra drips or something like that that's going to show you where they're going to land would be nice, as they do hit quite hard and are a little hard to see. Ultimately, I think the fact that you have a lot of choices here is also a really helpful factor in making this whole thing feel more fair. If you struggle in the Trial of Sekima, you could reattempt and try and find a better path and take more boons and healing, for example. Or you could just go progress through the campaign a little bit more, get some more levels, get 1 or 2 gear upgrades, and come back way more equipped to be able to do it. I managed to do it successfully right as I found it. I was probably a little bit over leveled due to exploring the zones, but if I did like another zone or two, I definitely would have been overqualified. And then there's always the choice of just foregoing it entirely if you're just struggling and not enjoying it, and going for one of the other trials. I think this is a big step up from the Labyrinth and Path of Exile 1, that's for sure. Long term, I think the allure of well-rolled jewels is going to be a strong motivator for endgame Sekima farming. Jewels will likely be in demand for basically any build, and the Radius jewels in particular look like they have strong potential.
Listen to the music.
Being able to somewhat deterministically farm item types like jewelry through treasure chests as well also looks very promising. Even low-level well-rolled jewelry is probably going to be quite valuable. So I definitely recommend trying your hand at the early levels of the Trial of the Sekimas, because if you find yourself really enjoying it, or that your build is really well suited to it, then you'll have a very attractive option for farming at endgame, I think.
Jesus.
And that's just based on the limited look we have at the rewards right now, of course. We'll see how it plays at endgame, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic after my experience with it. I'm certainly interested to see what the pinnacle boss loot looks like and how those rewards scale up. That's all I have for you today, but if you want to see more about my Grenadier Mercenary, I'll be putting together a video on that soon. Spoiler alert, it was a blast! I'm thinking of starting with a build like this, a beta launch, but it's hard to say. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that's it for now. I'm Ziggy D, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, make sure you guys go give him a like. Great video. I already liked and subscribed. The guys. Oh, did I not subscribe? Jesus. Wow. Good video, Ziggy D. Awesome video. Awesome video. I kind of got a little worried there with spoilers and stuff. Maybe a little bit more info than I wanted to learn, but anyway, it is what it is. Sorry, guys, if you didn't want to get all the minutiae here, although he did a pretty good job of not revealing everything, but he did basically explain the mechanic very well. Holy shit, Sir Groove a lot. So Hog is playing SSF on launch? Wow. I will eventually try SSF, of course, but I just want to see. I think trade is going to be on another level in Path of Exile 2 just because of, you know, the growing player. Like, I think it's going to be next level. It's going to be interesting. So I want to see it. I want to see it. So, and then, you know, we'll have time to explore other modes. Okay, we watched that. Wow, amazing. 7 days. For those of you that are just come in or came in late or whatever, if you don't have a key to early access yet and you would love to have one, go on over to X and find this tweet of mine, Sammy Caps, same name on Twitter, X, whatever. And I'm giving away some keys on this giveaway. And all you have to do is find this, follow me, like the tweet, and retweet it. And you will be part of the raffle. So good luck with that. That's for those of you that are looking to get a key if you don't have one. Even with the increase in currency drops, I think there may not be as much currency available. The barrier to entry to learn crafting seems to be way less. Predefined, absolutely. And by the way, personally, my personal opinion is I love that change. I love that they've introduced that kind of crafting on the go. I love that. I love it. I think it's a really, really good step. I don't know how OG POE players feel about it. I love it because it reduces the entry to barrier, the barrier to entry. I think it's something easy to learn. It seems like a very simple thing to do. So I like that. In 11 years, I've only spent 530. So you're good. Oh yeah. So you're Fartsmucker. You're gonna get an invite, they're coming, right? GGG said like last week that over the next 2 weeks, all the invites are going out to people that have spent 480 lifetime. So you're one of those. You're good. And yeah, the invites were sent out 2 days ago. Oh, they were sent 2 days ago. Nice. Awesome. I logged back into X today for the first time in over a year and a half and followed you earlier, Sammy. Oh, thank you, McRich. I got to get my Sense Pack too. He won't get them, same as me though. Yeah. Well, make sure, McRich, get in there and put your name on the draw. You never know, right? Then you can give him one to your sons, at least, you know. All right. Let's see here. Is there anything else that is worth watching?
This is a video.
Whoa. Oh, you know what I wanted to watch? I wanted to watch. What is this? Okay. I gotta watch Hog. We gotta watch Hog. I gotta watch my boy.
I swear to fucking God, this is real. This was 6 hours ago.
What?
Come on, you piece of junk. It's Hog, baby.
What is this? Two pounds of venison stew meat cut into 1 inch.
This is real. This is real. son. This isn't no. Look.
Diablo 4
Diablo
Dark.
4 Dark Delicacies. Diablo official YouTube.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
We released this, and this is what they come up with. The content won't stop coming. We got awesome skills, mind-blowing in-game. Rex and Woody and Rob and all them fellas have been begging for Diablo to have some content come out. And this is what we got content, don't worry. This is what they put out.
Oh, okay,
They
Sir
gave us
Groovelot.
a cooking video instead of giving, well, not that I give a
Guys,
shit.
this
I
is
just thought this was excellent meme. More memes have to be coming in. There's no way.
yeah, Hog. It's season
this is
7,
what
bro.
this
This
is.
is
They
season
come out
7.
with
This is
I'm
the
cooking.
PTR. This is the
What
PTR
is
for
this? I
season
hate it.
7.
Yeah, this is Diablo's new content. And there's dirt on the hands and stuff too. Y'all notice that?
I haven't seen it, Audible Node. No.
Oh, there's a cookbook too. How stupid of me. How could I forget? Excuse me. You can go get your Diablo cookbook. There you go. Recipes and Tales from the Inns of Sanctuary Diablo, the official cookbook. Available on Amazon.
You're not going to buy it, are
Friday
you?
sale, $23.48. There you go. Bought
Wow.
it for my grandma. There you go. They're kidding. No, they ain't kidding. How silly of me. How can I forget this important part right here?
Oh my God.
Oh, Rod.
Oh, Rod. Oh my God. God bless you, Hog. Oh shit.
This is a video.
His videos are like, oh shit. Oh my God. Link the video so I can like it. Yeah. Yeah, guys, go give Hawk some love.
I swear to fucking God, this is real. This was 6 hours ago. Come on, you piece of junk.
Oh shit, what happened here?
It's Hog, baby.
Like he's got some. Where is it? Where is it? No. His music ones are unbelievable. Where is it? Oh, this is the Quinn one. Okay, we don't have to watch that. Where is it? That's 3 days ago. Where the fuck, man? This is good. This
Like
one's
I
a good
said,
one.
I don't think we always have to like fight like that. You know, both games should strive. Both games would be awesome if both games are good, and that's just gonna be even better for us.
Meanwhile, in Hog's mind, this is so good.
It's Lilith, my man.
Look at the players' faces. You could save millions of them by one upload of this game. Let them have fun again. Let them be free from Lilith. Think of the songs that I will sing. Let us have fun again.
Oh my God. This one too is good. This one is really good. No, there isn't.
Oh, hey, Hog. How are you?
Sup, turd? What you doing here?
I wonder if we could normalize Diablo-like for ARPGs.
Oh, yeah? Well, check this out. Got a note from the community. Yeah. Dear Hog, that's me. Please tell Rod he didn't make Diablo 2. That was Blizzard North. Tell him
Yep.
he ain't follow the same thing. We call it exile-like now. Love the exile community. XO. XO. Don't you get it, Rod? Don't nobody want you around here. Don't nobody want you in our genre, period. So get lost, sissy boy. You gonna cry? Yeah, he's crying, boys. Why don't you go back to Target and get you some cookies there, little boy, little tunnel boy? Yeah, see you later, boy. Diablo 4 sucks.
Oh my God, he's so good.
Like I said, I don't think we always have to.
Hog is he really Audible Note? Is he really pissed? Seriously? Brevik was the G. Even his Marvel Heroes was awesome. I missed that game so much. Yeah. Brevik was the GOAT, man. If you guys ever have a chance, if you Google David Brevik, right? I think his first name is David. There's a presentation he does at a college, and he goes and explains like the whole Diablo 2 experience, creating it. It's a really good watch. It just gives you like a behind the curtains look at like everything he went through making that game. Really, really good watch. Try with the Wii, yeah. But the OG, yeah, I watched it. Did I like it? Yeah.
POE2 reveal was so epic it steamed Rod Ferguson. It was
The genre of ARPG is starting to mean a lot of different things. Much like Souls-like and roguelike, I wonder if we could normalize Diablo-like for ARPGs that follow the Diablo formula.
I absolutely cannot believe that this is real. Out of all the badass stuff that
I don't even know what hog gaming even stands for anymore. Fucking hog gaming, goddamn. Wait, hog gaming, wasn't he anti-POE Pro D4, then it was anti-D4 Pro POE, and then
Wow.
happening.
Wow.
Hold the fuck on a goddamn second! Put some fucking respect on my name, bitch! I was the man that played Boat League on a boat!
Yep, saw that.
Oh my god, we just got 2 fucking apocatheries! Holy shit! Holy shit, boys! We just got 2 fucking apocatheries on the boat! Boat League!
Boat League.
Motherfucker! I was the first one to leave Diablo 4!
I love this video. That video is the OG, man.
To go to POE. I never publicly said POE sucks, Diablo 4 awesome. I was on the D4 hype train, and then I left.
Yeah.
Path of exile. And oh my god, what fun it was to play.
But I love this game.
This one's a good one. We'll watch this one. He reacted to it tonight as well.
It puts a big smile on my face. And played POE for a goddamn motherfucking year. Played it on a steering wheel. And then I got X on the clutch. So when I hit the clutch, it does that. And then forward is first gear. Back is second gear. Left and right's the steering wheel. Played it on a joystick. Played it on a goddamn boat. Made the goddamn parody that you're featured in.
Hey guys.
Take him out, Quinn. Take him out.
Alright, let's not do this, alright?
You can add
Please
someone
put some
else.
fucking respect on my name, please. Just
You can
a
add
tiny
someone else.
goddamn bit. Thank you, Mr. I leaked all my fucking Steam keys to everybody.
Yeah, he did.
Everything's bad. Wait, everything's bad to all gaming. Was he always POE? He was never POE.
Well, chat, let's have a look. No, he's been playing for over a year.
Wait, what was he? He was. I mean, wait. No, he doesn't like getting called a grifter, Chad. I'm not quite sure what he is. I mean, he farms the drama, no
grifter?
doubt, no doubt.
Oh, fuck you, man.
After all
Wow.
those games,
Coming from the fucking Aussie farmer himself, goddamn Kiwi farmer. Get out of here, bruh. Same guy that said, oh, Hulk's just a D4 bad Andy, mate. D4 bad Andy, mate. D4 bad Andy, mate. Before D4 bad was made, and then guess what happened? D4 bad. All his shit's D4 bad. D4 bad AI songs. D4 bad. D4 bad. D4 bad.
Yeah.
Put some fucking respect on my name, please. I might be a piece of shit, but I've done more than just jump around and hate games. Thank you, sir. I mean, what does Quinn Gaming even stand for, bruh? What does it even stand for? Is it just yelling loud into the mic, check? Oh my god, like what is it? Like what is it even there, bro? Is it brand risk, bro? Like what is it, bro?
Making tweets.
Come on, bro.
This is an ARPG.
Don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Don't start no shit, there won't be shit. Yeah. Good for Hog, man. All right, where's that video? This is the OG, man. I love this one. No, not that one. Oh, I'm not. What's this? Ah, this one. This one's a classic.
you are anyway. Yeah, you're fired.
Oh shit, not now.
Yesterday. Yeah, whatever. Hey, can I get a beer over here?
Yeah, Hog is awesome. He's a good guy, man.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. All right, let's not do this, all right?
Oh, there's Crip. They're the boys.
And we got losers, refugees and hardcore freaks, and we got scissoring.
He's got a pretty good voice.
Steel mage. And Asmongold shows up sometimes. And we've even got some gals that play the game. Oh yeah. I love this game. We got Dio. We got Rax, yeah. Racker hoping things will get better. And we got Sergog giving a presentation. And silver hairs like subtractum. And the veterans talk about how it used to be.
Fox. It's a good song, actually.
I love this game. It's my kind of shit. Since Diablo 4 is bad, yeah, I park my ass down in this place. Don't worry about how I'm having a ball. I love this game. I got caught up in all the hype, yeah. Did some things that I regret, but that's okay, boys.
Oh, did he really? Wow.
Community is fucking wild. I love this game, y'all, can't you see? And why is Asmund carrying a steak in his bag? That steak's fucking gross.
such a good video.
I like my truck, and I like my bass boat. I like to take it out on the lake, boys. I like to catch a big ass fish. But I love this game. It's my kind of shit. Watching Quinn do 0 DPS, it puts a big smile on my face. I'm the same. There ain't no shame in my game. Love this game. I just love this old game.
Too good, Hawk. Too good. His videos are just unbelievable. All right. Every single support gem revealed. No, thank you. Top Diablo 4 player Elon Musk wants to know life POE2. No, thanks. Unbelievable. All right, boys. I think we're going to call it. Wow. Hopefully what's going on in the ARPG genre will resonate outside the genre because the industry is stagnant. Yeah. You know, like I said, you bringing up my video, but the video I dropped today, it was a short one. But basically it's, you know, again, I said it earlier on, there's something in the air. There's just something I think that's going to be epic. And a lot of people are feeling it, I think. Next Friday is going to be, I think, the beginning of the future for ARPGs. And let's hope, you know, everything we've heard, you know, translates pen to paper kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, oh shit, we forgot to, okay, we'll save the Dream Core for tomorrow. Damn it, we should have watched the Dream Core video. But, you know, how can you not watch a little bit of Hog? Like, unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you guys don't watch him, go watch his content, subscribe to his content, like his content. He streams on Twitch as well. So go give him some love and support. And no, he doesn't jump the bandwagon. He's been playing Path of Exile for I don't know how long, but at least a year. And I know obviously I'm streaming. We probably have the same timing. But I know he's been playing Path of Exile because every time we've spoken, he's asked me to join his guild. So, and plus, I watch his content, so I know he's been, you know, you just have to go on his YouTube channel like he demonstrated on that video. So anyway, go give him some love. He's a good guy. All right. See you tomorrow. One more week. Oh, one more week. Yes, yes, yes. One more week. 7 days, guys. Literally a week tomorrow. A week tomorrow. Our worlds will change. Anyway, thanks for spending some time with me, guys. I really do appreciate the support. And thank you so much, so much, so much. If you're on YouTube, if you could like the video. If you're on Twitch, I would love your support. If you could hit the follow button, no worries. If you can't, there's a lot of good content creators out there, so I understand, but I would appreciate it. But no big deal. And yeah, we're going to be streaming till we get to December 6th, man. And then December 6th, it's going to be a grind and a half. If you still need a key, shameless plug, go over to X, find my tweet. All you have to do is find the tweet, follow it, like it. Follow me, like the tweet, and retweet, and you'll get entered in to the sweepstakes, so to speak. Oh my God, that tweet is over. It's creeping up to 30,000 views. Jesus Murphy, unbelievable. That just goes to show you, I just recently started posting on X, and so someone that really doesn't have a huge following, like I'm under 1,000 followers, and to get that kind of response, like just goes to show you how massive this game is going to be. All right. Where are we here? Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you. Oh, let me put this on instead. Boom. 7 days, 15 hours, 13 minutes, and 26 seconds and counting, guys. Have a good one. God bless. Oh, to all our American friends, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're celebrating with your family and friends. I'm sure you are. And we wish you nothing but health and happiness. And I wish that on all of you, actually. But happy Thanksgiving to all our American friends. Hope you're enjoying all the delicious food and all the football. I'm so jealous. Anyway, have a good one, everybody. Good night. Oh, shit. I forgot the music. Here we go. Good night, guys. We'll see you next time. Don't be a stranger. Make sure you come back. We'd love to have you. Good night, everybody.